This matchup, Clement, I know as we go into ban pick, we're going to be looking towards Khan, TheShy. We're running right into this one, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but tell me what excites you as we go into the first pick and ban of LPL 20 Spring.
So my predictions for FPX were they were going to ban Aphelios, Akali, and probably the Vladimir, if not in the first phase, then in the second and third phase, the later phases of the ban picks. And for IG, you can see a very strong focus onto Doinb.
Yeah,
Nautilus, that is a mid lane champion.
Even
for
the
FPX.
Pantheon there, Clement. You know how he plays the Pantheon too, so it's much like IG to start targeting correctly. And a blue side Kiana, I know piques your interest.
Yeah, this one was really important because Ning did not play a single time of Kiana during Worlds or in Season 9, and in that series against FPX, they constantly had to ban it out on the blue side, so seeing the potential for Ning to maybe pick that champion up will patch the holes that they missed at Worlds.
Remember, we are in 10.1, ladies and gentlemen, as well, so it's what you've been seeing across the board. We're just further along with the Silas changes, and Diana, of course, in 9.24 as well. The Misfortune, the first pickup here for FPX for the bottom lane.
Highest win rate champion that we've seen in the Demacia Cup, over 69% there, and she's just very, very strong in the bot lane. With the way alcoves have been shaping up, we've seen more and more of the AD carries trend towards semi-bruiser-ish builds to survive. It's very volatile down there, and I just think Misfortune's laning strength is what's keeping her in the meta.
Well, if you're talking about using the alcove, Jarvan could do that quite nicely there, so Tian picking up a fan favorite for FPX, right back into the same position.
And now is really interesting to see where IG will put this Kiana. We know that Rookie can definitely play it. The big question is, can Ning actually play it now?
True.
So, you know, they're leaving their options wide open here. There's still a couple things that we've been seeing in the meta right now. Has been Olaf, a very high priority on that champion, and it was also Ning's best champion, but I guess they're not going to show their hands for now.
That's an interesting first pick there. You're going to see the Rumble come out the Brom as well. Now for Southwind, always picks up the Brom, or at least used to in Invictus Gaming. The Rumble here, but which lane?
Yeah, the Rumble was really popularized by Doinb. We saw the Predator Rumble basically dominate, and recently Rookie has been spamming that in solo queue as well. So trying to give Doinb a taste of his own medicine. You have to play a little bit more passive in the early game, but once you get your boots rolling, it's just so damn powerful.
It was also the pick that smashed IG in Game 1 at World Semifinals as well, so IG trying to send some of that love right back. But Doinb knows what he loves, and he loves the Rise. You're going to see it here in Game 1.
It was his most feared champion during the entirety of Worlds, his most banned as well, outside of the Pantheon, of course. But this champion really allows Doinb to have more of a late game presence. A lot of times when he played Bruisers, the problem is that you fall off, but with Rise, that doesn't really happen. You continue to scale with your mana and your side lane ability.
And when the identity of FPX has been about roaming bot, making those dive happen, you know, the 4 versus 2 that was explained so well at Worlds, that facilitates that even better here for FPX. But we're moving into the second ban phase nice and quick. 80 carry bans here targeted by FPX.
And this is actually what we expected, because Puff is that exceptional of a laning 80 carry that FPX are throwing 3 bans his way. LWX has, you know, gone through finals without a single death, but on his team, actually, Doinb doesn't rate him even that highly in terms of laning mechanics, so we can see a more defensive posture coming for FPX when regarding their bot side.
Well, the Leona is coming in to facilitate that, Clement, so you got the MF Leona bottom lane. A lot of protection here and a lot of range to play with, but how do you close that gap? How do you build against this Leona for the bottom lane of IG?
I think they might be forced to go with something a little bit more defensive. As I say that, the Kog'Maw hover is happening right there. I think Caitlyn is fine. You just want to get out a little bit out of range, but what they're really looking for is setting up for that Drake fight. The crowd control is there in the Kiana, the Braum, and the Rumble. That's a massive layering of crowd control that they can throw on. And I like the Senna a little bit more here, just because she can throw out that last embrace. You can chance and engage and force FPX into an early team fight.
Puff had an exceptional time in Demacia Cup. IG didn't make it through groups, but Puff played out of his mind on Senna. So definitely quickly becoming a comfort pick here for Puff. Aatrox was the final lock in there for the top lane, you have to assume. And now for FPX, they have the counter pick available.
Yeah, let's see what Khan wants to take up against TheShy. Aatrox is pretty foolproof. You can't find a lot of counters against that, and we're going to see a much more conservative pick here coming from Khan, not really directly challenging the likes of Aatrox in lane, but honestly, Ornn, he's the most played top laner on 10.1, and he's probably the most overstated tank we have right now.
True.
Just the additional tank items you get at level 12, that's almost 3k free gold you get from his upgrades.
I was just going to say, the scaling element has really been piled on here for FPX. Outside of Misfortune, the Rise, the Ornn itself, what it adds to the team, they stack on in those team fights, Clement, and FPX are playing true to their win condition.
And this is pretty fun from FPX because they're taking the challenge from IG. They're looking at IG with this layered crowd control and this clear potential to spike during Drake fights, and they're answering it head on. They have a great front line here in the Leona and the Ornn, and they have an artillery piece in the Misfortune. So they're willing to go head to head right at the get-go.
I think we have to have a look here though, Clement, because I see Rumble in the jungle, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
You have Kiana mid on Rookie, Aatrox in the top side. We will just confirm that as we get into game, but for Ning, that would be a great way to start the split. Throw everything out the window and bring 2020 into an exciting reality.
And that would actually be the first Rumble jungle that we see from him too. We haven't seen him go for this pick in Season 9 whatsoever. So definitely a bit of a new pick, but I'm a little bit surprised here. We've been seeing a lot of the Rumble mid lane just because you get wave clear really early on.
And Doinb.
Yeah, everyone's been building it. The double pen early Predator build is great. You can proc Predator with your Equalizer from so far away. You're so impactful as well. So I would be a little bit surprised if it's actually going to be the Rumble jungle.
What I do love, though, is that at least for IG, with Rumble and Kiana on the same team, we did see this at Worlds out of FPX against Invictus Gaming, was Kiana ultimate goes out, locks down the members of the enemy team, and the Rumble ultimate goes right on top. It's an easy wombo, and I will correct myself. They did fix it in the end. It is going to be Kiana in the jungle, Clement, so I don't have to throw you a hard one to kick us off.
Yeah, and what we're looking for is for FPX to kind of get an early lead. Rumble is a champion that's very punishable. We've seen bad things happen to this Rumble when he tries to push the lane early, so I do expect a little bit of a slower start from IG and then to ramp it up when they hit the level 5, level 6.
Okay, you were talking about Dragons. That's where I'll keep my eyes peeled as we run into the very first game of the LPL 2020 Spring, the rematch of the World's semi-final. And they stop. And they stop. A pause to kick us off.
There's always going to be a bit of tech difficulties when you open up the year like this. But
chanting anyway.
We can talk a little bit more about these two on screen. The interesting thing about Khan joining FPX is he does have a very long history actually playing in China. After his stint on Prime, he came over to WE Academy. We saw him in QG Reapers as well. So he does have experience in the LPL and the LDL itself.
That's right. It's been a while. 6 years. Including this year, if you count going all the way back to 2014 summer. So good to see Khan's return rather than just kind of his debut in the LPL itself.
Yeah, and this was such a good sign for FPX. You know, they shore up their domestic bases. They basically weakened their most threatening international opponent in T1 at Worlds. This is they were much more worried about T1 than they were about G2 based on their scrim results. So this is just, it works so many ways, and they also covered their bases in giving Gimgoon, you know, he's been having hand injuries, wrist injuries for a while right now. They make sure they have a suitable replacement behind that, and they actually only signed Khan for a single year, and they're giving themselves a lot of maneuvering space if it doesn't work out too. Okay,
well that's very interesting. I'll have to see how that develops, because when you think about year contracts, you go, what's the plan in the future? What are they going to do? Because Khan and Gimgoon are very different top laners.
Yes.
Gimgoon was thrown against a wall, people threw bricks at him, and he had to dodge 1v5.
Gimgoon was that type of pressure absorption player. He basically said during Worlds that I don't know where I'd be without game playing. So he basically took the punishment in the top lane, and you could see FPX in their games against IG, they were always saving their red side counter pick, their last pick for Gimgoon. They weren't necessarily trying to pick a counter pick, but they were just trying to make it sure that they weren't going to have a lane collapse.
Which is kind of the same here with Khan, isn't it? The Ornn, the final pick here in game number 1, as we do finally return, and it starts with an FPX invade. Of course, it does flash over the wall with the Zenith Blade. A good follow-up and a good summoner burnt to kick us off.
Yeah, early flashes down, and that's going to open a lot of gank opportunities into the bot lane. We do have to remember right now that you can't hit level 3 on the blue side, so what that means is Tian could even go back to his own jungle, take his 3 camps, and still head bot.
Okay, FPX with a red start then, so if he does pick up that camp, we'll track the pathing. Getting a quick look across the board. No Omni Stone, that's the first thing I noticed. Of course, you're never going to see that. But you've got Phase Rush on Doinb. So once again, focus towards the movement speed acquired in that mid to late game.
And a couple interesting choices right here. We're not seeing the Predator Rumble that's going to roam around. It is going to be the Comet. And Khan's just going to pretend like nothing is happening here.
Doesn't even walk backwards, doesn't blink an eye, says, yep, that's what we expected. So vertical jungling to kick things off. It's how they transition, go towards that second buff that you have to watch.
And we can see that IG's bot lane is very much aware of the potential level 2 gank right here. They're sticking close to their Krugs and making sure it doesn't happen.
Well, slow early start here. The Krugs were started from what I could see, or rather Raptors, but some deep warding put out as well. Rookie playing safe in the mid lane just to stay away from that Jarvan early level 2. But he's going towards the bottom side instead. Zenith Blade's going to land once again. Crisp is only level 1. That's an immediate flash, but Southwind doesn't have his summoners available, Clement, you're right. Ignite will be dropped down, he'll burn, and now the bottom lane has absolutely nothing from IG.
Yep. Well done from Southwind. He held on to his Guardian, participating that there may be a chance of a level 2 gank there, and they do get out with a bit of HP. But like you were talking about, with all the summoners gone, this is going to be a repeat scenario.
And remember, it's vertical jungling, so this is just going to be so good for FPX. Tian now going to his blue buff. Should be able to pick up 3 with the Gromp as well. I know you're talking to me with the XP changes there, Clement, so there's a lot of advantages FPX can play through the early game.
Yeah, you do have to note that it's possible to just do 2 buffs and also head to your Gromps for level 3 right now. You feel that a lot if you're playing blue side top lane these days. The jungler does come a lot more often. And it will change around jungle path. It will change jungle pathing quite a bit. I think the more creative junglers are going to find a lot more gank opportunities in this new patch.
This is creative pathing then, Clement. This fits in perfectly to what you're saying, because Rookie is in trouble. He's going to get locked down, flashed on immediately. Zenith Blade to follow up. The chain CC from FPX makes for a nice first blood.
And this is the FPX memo. You always start roaming as soon as possible. It's less about the laning phase and more about the early roam potential. Great flash there by Chris just to make sure that lockdown was a full chain CC and nothing could break Rookie out of that.
And Doinb is ahead. That's first blood going to the mid-rise. He already has 6 CS extra under his belt. So this should be an early tier to start stacking up against Rookie.
Taking a look at Senna's runes right here, we typically see 2 builds. One of them is the Glacial Augment, and the other one, we do see a lot of the Dark Harvest being selected right here. Obviously, with the Braum, you have that potential to create multiple slows and just stun people. This is a rune choice that really helps when you have those gank potentials. And now we're seeing a big feature of Season 10 is that it's very hard to fully ward when you're behind in the bot lane. Bot lane has become so damn volatile.
And they still don't have their summoners as well, do they? Flag and Drag is available. Tian does it before he gets rooted down. Southwind jumps back and actually survives for now. The turn available if they can get Rookie in time, but I don't think he's nearby just yet.
Do find the last embrace right here. Rookie coming in, but I doubt he's going to find a kill. No level 6 here.
Yeah, that's right. Level 5 at the ready. Gets an Electro Harpoon. Ning is here as well, just to give some pressure back to IG's bottom lane.
And this is something that you're going to see a lot in competitive play. With the alcoves and the 3 brushes now in the bot lane, it's very hard for a losing bot lane to actually push out. You don't have enough wards to even cover all the potential spots that winning bot lanes are going to be hiding in. So you're going to see a lot more mid laners and junglers helping out with that bot lane, making sure a losing bot lane can still push themselves out and reset the wave.
And you know what really sucks for IG's bottom lane is that with that in mind, Tian is still down here. He's been vertical jungling the whole game, hasn't made his way to the top side, but we'll have a quick look at how this almost came to be.
That EQ combo coming in, we see the...
He disappeared!
That should be a spectator bug. What happened right there is, the blackness happened, and you do gain camouflage, and you are obscure. So what that means is that you cannot be targeted by auto attack, and it is kind of a get out of jail free card for Senna.
Don't worry, when we first got Mordekaiser, remember the rework came through, and everyone's like, I cannot see who's in the Death Realm, so we'll get there eventually. But a safe call here for Southwind. Now has his summoners back up and available on the level 3 Braum. So that should be a bit better for IG's bottom lane, but you can see where the gold lead's originating from. That bottom lane that has been shoved out constantly, but also Doinb, who's got an early 10th CS lead.
Yeah, still doing very well in the lane, and this is just showcasing that, you know, Doinb can play one of the more scaling side of this matchup as well. Everyone right now is just gearing up for that big level 6 that's going to happen soon.
Well, speak of the devil, we're not quite there yet, but TheShy is 6 in this top lane. Tian, 5, gets spotted on a ward, still wants to make his way in. The flag and drag on top. Here comes Ornn's Horn, right on top of TheShy, who gets a bit of life still, but bashed for a second kill for FPX.
Very clean kill right there, and I was actually a little bit surprised TheShy still stayed around there. There was actually no reason for him to do that. He already spotted Tian on the ward, but he still thought he had the mechanics to get away from the Ornn.
Maybe thought Ning was coming in after him, but still no level 6 on the Kiana, so TheShy is going to drop there, and now for Invictus Gaming, their solo lanes are in a bit of trouble. FPX is starting to build up this early game.
Yeah, and everything that we want to see from FPX is really just snowballing that bot lane. I would say just do it one more time. You know, Tian still has his Cataclysm. Yep. Ning hasn't hit level 6. This is a prime opportunity to get summoners from the bot lane and just snowball it into the first Drake. If FPX can control the Drakes even against IG's composition early, I feel like they're in a very steady position with the scaling they have as well.
And with another gank coming to that bottom lane, look at what LWX just picked up. That's an early BF sword here on the double Doran's Misfortune. So it's an impactful buy, one that'll take Puff out of the waters. And with 6 almost up, bullet time just about to hit. So FPX looking for that roam towards the bottom lane. You can see Doinb frees up his lane once again, looking to pick up the blue buff, and there's no wards in the river to spot them if they want to go down.
Ning is going to tick 6 after this Krogs, but the entire river is covered in FPX wards at this point, so it's a very good opportunity at FPX to use this and just start going on the Dragon.
We are starting with an Ocean this game, so no Ocean Soul there for either FPX or IG. But speak of the devil, TheShy still trading very well up here, and 20 CS advantage. So even with the gank, TheShy finds himself in a comfortable position.
And we do see Khan playing a very similar role to Gimgoom this game. You know, he's just going to hang around, and we are going to see the Ice Fist actually come out.
The Ice Fist?
Yeah, that's the masterwork item.
Oh, right. Isn't it Frozen Fist?
Oh, Frozen Fist. My bad. He has so many different items.
Oh my god, that's such a cool lad. We have some cool stuff here in the LPL. Let me just say, while we have a lull moment, that our intro, I think, was the sickest I've ever seen.
That's Wahaha. Water.
That's great.
Fruit water for you.
That's fantastic.
If you ever come to China, you could take a sip of that.
Get some wahaha.
Good warding here.
Oh yeah, Chris going to be spotted out on one of his many roams, so very deep ward from TheShy.
This is what we've seen in the Demacia Cup a lot of times. Senna, though, still open. She is considered somewhat countered by Misfortune. You can push her in during the laning phase.
Oh, hang on. That's going to be World Ender on top of Khan, trying to make his way out, gets dunked down one more time. Conqueror is fully active, so TheShy could keep going forward, but doesn't have the damage yet to kill.
And this is going to require multiple visits from FPX to actually equalize here. A big change in Season 10 is that the Herald now spawns a little bit sooner at 8 minutes.
And you can get 2 of them, remember, so this might be the first one for IG. They forced out Khan in the top side, and now
Rookie's
FPX
unspotted.
Might be walking into a trap. That's right. 4 versus 3 at the ready. Misfortune isn't there yet, but Herald resets. That puts some time on the clock for FPX.
Yeah, and FPX are very aware of Rookie's position.
Rookie's going to go over the wall just in time. The flag drag to follow, but Tian is by himself until Doinb flashes over. The carpet gets laid down, but it's in a horrible position. TheShy doesn't need to go forward. Herald is still being done, mind you. Ning takes it by his own as FPX look for the fight. Straight onto Southwind. He flashes immediately. The ult comes through, and many at that make it rain into bullet time. LWX gets number 1. Khan gets number 2, and IG have bitten off way too much as they run up to the top turret. You know that Khan and Chris will not die under it. An easy double and throw another to Doinb.
4 members killed in that one. I think the biggest mistakes for IG right there is that they did not layer their ultimate. The equalizer was forced out very early on in the fight, and then the Kiana ultimate from Ning actually didn't layer up with any damage. That left them wide open for the wombo combo coming in from FPX.
LWX just made it rain at the end of that fight. And FPX with a very solid lead in this first game, 3,000 up. And off that fight, they'll be able to pick their first item up as we look again.
Yeah, this was a really smart play by Tian, knowing that Doinb could follow him over the wall. They get the first ultimate, and look at LWX. He's literally unchallenged right here. He has a solid front line in front of him, and he's able to just dish out damage. Tian even gets out on the other side as well. So IG's solo lanes are nowhere in this fight, and that AoE should have been layered coming in from the Aatrox and the Rumble, but none of it was present. Great splitting by FPX.
Yeah, and nice coordination from Khan at the tail end of that fight. Sets up the Misfortune with his ultimate. Walks through, Khan picks up the double too. So FPX, solo lanes at the ready, and also the Misfortune, LWX, has himself the BF Sword, the Caulfield's Warhammer, almost towards the Essence Reaver first item.
That fight would have looked so different if it was not for Crisp. He had the presence of mind to go check up the ramp and know that if Rookie was flanking there, they might not have gone out there alive. So it was a really smart play by FPX and just demonstrates the mastery of objective taking.
That's right. I mean, FPX are coming off the World's Hot. They didn't play Demacia Cup whatsoever, as in their full roster. And right now they're showing that they're still at the form that we saw in the World Championship. IG having to fight back now, push towards the mid lane, but they can't over-push. They can't see where Crisp is. They don't know what Doinb is doing. And LWX by himself in the top lane might have to burn a flash.
Okay. A little bit of a mistake right there. Could have waited for his teammates just a little bit. IG will have a big juicy target to kind of take down.
Yep. Especially at this point in the game, getting towards the 12-minute mark. But they are looking for TheShy. Flag and drag, Cataclysm once more. Solar Flare flashed away from. So TheShy will live, but with that key ultimate down, actually too, IG are looking to jump in. There's the ult again. The Supreme Display of Talent locks down Chris. He gets cornered and taken away. LWX has no flash from the last play, and can't savor the moment. Tian gets bopped by Southwind, and IG immediately their first 3 kills of the game.
This just seems to happen every time these two teams face up against each other. FPX think they're ahead. They try to do something to TheShy, and it bites them in the behind.
You know what, Clement? I know where you were going. It's absolutely fine. They get the 3 kills. Now the Rift Herald is down, and if FPX stay, they are going to die. Herald gets a massive charge. Gold spread throughout. They're getting poked down, but confident they can stick around.
Yeah, there was no ultimate in from Ornn anymore, but they still managed to clear the wave there and keep everything surprisingly safe. That was actually one of the better uses of Senna's Blackness there, just getting into position coming in from River.
True.
Now, just taking a look at how this fight panned out, I don't think FPX actually got TheShy's timer, or else Tian would not have tried to do that play. They didn't really get the layering of CC, and they were left in a very bad spot.
As you're saying, the Blackness there. Couldn't see Southwind in the mix, but didn't really make a difference in the end.
This is a really good use of Braum as well. We've seen this in the Demacia Cup plus the Kespa Cup, where Braum is considered a good counter to the Misfortune during the teamfight phases. You can just have that unbreakable up and block out most of the ultimate damage.
Well, while we're in that replay, Mountain Dragon was taken, which means we do have an Infernal Rift coming up. So look for the explosive damage with the Soul, but FPX have set themselves up to get that Soul this game.
Yep, will be the Cloud Soul, based on the current Drakes right now. And this is one of the new features of the split as well, is that you can really snowball the game getting the Dragon Soul. I don't think Baron is the main objective anymore. It's actually going to be the 4-stack Dragon Soul.
Well, Clement, it's Infernal Soul, I'll tell you that much for this game, because the Rift is running red.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. Look, when you talk, it's like angels. It's like angels dancing in my ears.
Basic counting is hard.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, sometimes. Tara's going to go down there for FPX in the bottom lane meanwhile, so as we're talking about Dragons, we've got a 4-minute timer, but it's time for IG to fight, apparently. Glacier Fish is going to come down again. The carpet on top. Great combo, but FPX turn it right around with the Cataclysm. Ning misses his ulti as a flash over from Doinb just to savor the fight. Chris gets locked down, but here's a Realm Warp to save his support. Doinb's a good guy.
A pretty equal trade juggle for support then, and TheShy's coming in deep.
He's actually going to flash on top. Chris gets the Zenith Blade. TheShy trades his life to turn rather than to run. FPX making the better call.
Yeah, definitely not worth it at that point. I liked IG's decision to engage right there. They knew they had the numbers advantage with LWX most likely going back for his Essence Reaver. So they just chose to go in without any vision into that brush. And they did get single pickoff. But unfortunately, I think TheShy's direction there actually slowed them down a little bit. They could have gotten a bit more out of that mid lane tower.
Are IG trying to push the tempo, Clement? Are we seeing a team that are trying to force the issue now rather than the composition later against FPX?
Yes, I definitely think so. IG, if you look at Senna, she really doesn't have the sustained damage to kind of punch through these big tanks on like Khan, if Tian gets more of his defensive items up, and of course a Leona as well. If you think about Senna's build, she's heavily into the lethality build, and that doesn't really lend you anything to kind of chip off the armor against the main tanks in the front line.
And remember as well that Doinb often builds a hybrid rise, so you've got the tank stats available, third, fourth item. But as we're talking, the Rift Herald number 2 is going to go down, this time to FPX. So one apiece, they walk mid, looking to stop IG. I think we're brewing for another fight.
Yep, but IG are pretty well aware of the ultimate cooldowns right here. In these wombo combo fights, that's going to be the deciding factor. How you use ultimates, are they up? Can you layer them together? So, you know, IG keeping close eyes on the timer, was willing to go further and just push that additional wave.
They still haven't been able to knock down the mid turret. They've been trying for many a waves now. They've left it. Puff and Southwind get the shove. Here comes the reset from FPX. It's going to be the Kindle Gem picked up by the Jarvan. Bit of extra tanky stats for the next fight. And TheShy says, hello Doinb, let's go right now. Good kiting away as Khan, just in case, drops his own form of the ult.
Yeah, very interesting timing right here. They're still going to have their ultimates up, but can Khan get out?
Ning does get the ulti down onto 2 members. Here comes the darkness from the center as Cataclysm turnaround. FPX still want to take it. They picked up the first member. Krista's waiting on the side, but the burst damage coming through. TheShy cannot be beaten right now. Doinb is low, but Chris jumping right back in. Messy as all hell as Rookie finds his path with a flash over the wall. Doinb starts hitting. Southwind blocks, but there's no way to follow up for now. Puff gets the heal off and FPX just call it quits.
Yeah, I like the idea of what IG were doing right there. If you look at the Drake timer, they were able to make a play there and still have all of their ultimates up for the Drake contest. So it was just trying to fish for kills, but once again, they overstepped into vision that they don't really have, and they're punished by Tian coming in. I
love the fact that IG and FPX are just willing to tread on each other's toes to see the reaction. Yeah. That's what this game 1 feels like to me.
FPX Doinb, the OP player of the game so far. Oh, he's actually farming above 10 CS per minute at this point.
Okay. Well, best mid in the world, Mr. Clementiu.
Yeah, 11.2. I wonder if that stat matches up with the scoreboard that we're going to be seeing later.
Okay. All right. Well, I love the graphic down there as well. I think that's a magnifying glass that he's staring deeply into.
Doinb is probably the only MVP of a Premier region that actually had a losing CS score.
True.
Yeah, because he focused on roaming so much. So to see him have 11.2 is actually pretty amazing. It shows the difference in style that he can develop. He's
at 207 right now, so that further affirms that Doinb is kicking ass right now. 207, 404 on his rise, and a Righteous Glory is coming up next for his 3rd item.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. Look at Khan. If he hits level 12, he's going to get so many free gold here. IG have to contest this.
He wants to go into stealth mode. Infernal will be taken, and he steals it away. He'll die for it, but I tell you what, that's not too bad. Ning does some damage on the way out, but Infernal secured by Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, and that's going to delay the Dragon Soul for a further 5 minutes in this match. Not that IG actually wants it delayed, but you know, it's better than giving away the Infernal Drake at this point.
Sure.
I will say the teamfight dynamics have changed drastically from the original Drake fight. I don't think IG can take FPX anymore front to back. If they're going to win a teamfight, it's going to have to come through creative uses of Ning or TheShy, trying to find their way into the backline, maybe sniping out LWX first, and then going and dealing with the rest of the meat.
Because we look at the composition from Invictus Gaming, the pick potential is definitely there, and the layering of CC on a couple of targets rather than the full 5 versus 5 is possible. Rookie has to be careful. Every time IG gets caught out, this is going to hurt them. Double ulti down. Rookie tries to take a trade, and the ult from center comes up as well, but Tian does survive, and Invictus Gaming drop another.
Yeah, it's just way too easy for FPX to get catches at this point. They're running away with the scaling. They're running away with the gold leads at this point. And for IG, their only winning part, I would say, would be the Aatrox. They actually need TheShy in that split pushing to give them a little bit more chance to actually make catches around the map. They can't fight the 5v5 at this point. It's going to be too difficult for them to find the flanks.
There's just so much space given to FPX as well. So right now, IG have to be careful where they push. 4K gold lead here for FPX. The top turret just going down. That is all the outers destroyed against IG.
This is a very good demonstration of why you always ban Ryze against Doinb.
Yes.
Traditionally, the weakness for FPX, and Doinb has said this himself, is that they fall off in the later game. When you're playing a Malphite AP, when you're playing an AP Nautilus, you don't have the tank stats to actually survive and deal damage at the same time.
Sure.
But with a champion like Ryze, you're the main shot caller, you can make semi-global plays, you can split push for yourself, unlike Nautilus and Malphite, and you see these massive CS leads.
He's got the Righteous Glory now. This is his third item, and I guarantee you with the Rod of Ages still stacking up, with the Seraph's Embrace fully complete, this Ryze is going to hurt, and it's going to be very hard to kill him. Level 14 over Rookie's level 11. So Doinb this time almost Flame Horizon him as well. Doinb's having a great start to the season.
Yeah, and then a lot of it really did come down to the early pressure they put on the bot lane and Chris then roaming to mid. We were talking about this in the draft. The #1 priority when you're picking a Rumble is you have to keep him safe until he can wave clear himself. IG didn't manage to give enough cover there. The bot lane bled out, and that's basically put Rookie in a hole ever since.
Really has. I love how FPX is standing where the brush once was. IG not walking too far forward, but FPX are testing them right now. Deep vision being placed, as you can see from Crisp with that ward there, and IG can't go and clear it because they know they're going to pay for it. They know that the picks are still coming out strong from FPX, and even Doinb right now under the turret. Look, this is Ryze. His Q just got nerfed and he doesn't care, but maybe he will if his jungler tries to jump underneath the turret. He's going to die, and I'm not sure what Tian was thinking.
Yeah, Tian just wanted to get the finish off kill, get the Kobe and go away, but TheShy definitely has good synergy with his Korean soul laner.
Yes, he does. At the moment, that is a much-needed kill for Invictus Gaming. Still 3,000 gold is the difference between the two teams, but every little pick right now matters. And every moment that can slow the game down, or at least push it back in IG's favor, is wanted.
Everything's riding on TheShy once more, and
Yep.
honestly, we've seen this when these two teams play against each other. It does look like a lot of parts of the map are going to be outmatched, but TheShy is always that ticking time bomb. He needs to be able to split push. He's almost at that flame horizon himself.
True.
So if he can dominate a lane and get those opportunities for IG to then rotate around that, then they might find chances to get picks. Now, they're not going to win in the straight 5v5.
No way, but they still might want to force, and as you said, picks in the mid lane. Carpet's going to be laid down. LPX flashes Ning, misses the ulti, but Chris in a lot of trouble. He solar flares, sets up the Misfortune ult. Senna throws down the Dawning Shadow, but the issue is Crisp and LWX not going to be the targets here.
Wow.
The flash away. Ning is just dead because Doinb says so.
Yeah, Righteous Glory comes in as well, and easy rotation coming in from there. Ning really missed a step right there. If he landed his ultimate, I think at the very least they should have been able to get Crisp from that fight, but great flash from him. They're out, and now they're setting up around this Baron.
Now, Crisp at half health, that's probably going to be an easy target for IG, but what do they pay because of it? Baron is at half health, TheShy jumps in first, but Doinb, Righteous Glory at the ready, Tian jumps in once again, just a leg short. They've found Southwind, but the ulti comes through as well. They'll get him quickly. Turn for Puff. Here comes the Realm Warp on top of Rookie. It's 3 versus 1 as TheShy is looking to take down mid and the bottom lane. Doinb is low, locked down, and TheShy is trying to carry. LWX goes into stopwatch, and this is his moment as he dunks on TheShy. You could feel it, you could see it, but FPX deny it.
Oh, that was so damn close. FPX split up in the second half of that fight and actually leaves Tian open for TheShy right there. They still get all of the mop-up kills in the end, and really no foul, no harm. FPX are going to continue with their strategy. Let's see if Ning can get another steal.
I mean,
there's no jungler here.
Yeah, there's no jungler. This is going to be easy for him to smite away. LWX has to stop this now. Ulti comes out, but what? How does an Ornn take Dragon? All right, Ning. The world saw that, and they're probably not impressed.
Okay, that was not supposed to happen, but a good find right there from FPX, and they're just that one Drake closer to getting the Infernal Soul.
It's time for a replay, but not the replay I'm interested in. This was the fight that set FPX up again.
Yeah, this was a really smart one from FPX. They know that all of the ultimates were used from IG in the previous one, so they're okay to just force an engage, but the later half here was a little bit messy. They still got all of the cleanups at the end. And, you know, I actually wish that this was a little bit cleaner coming in from FPX. I felt like they could have snowballed the Infernal Drake without any chance of Ning stealing it, and they just got a little bit lucky being able to move away with it.
Well, they got an Infernal anyway, so that's all that matters. We do have across the board just a bit of an item uptake for you, because remember, in Champions League, we're talking about what Ornn adds to the late game. Misfortune with an upgraded Molten Edge now on LWX, and we've got the Sunfire Cape upgraded on the Ornn himself. So the money is starting to stack up for FPX, and it's only 26 minutes in the game.
Scaling, scaling, scaling. That's the name of the game right here. Everyone's going to get a free item from Khan up to level 16, and Khan himself is going to get 2. So that's a lot of free gold on FPX's roster. They have that untouchable front line, and IG's windows are basically closed now.
Yep.
Now, you might say that Senna has infinite scaling, and indeed, she actually has the highest win rate for 80 carries post 40 minutes because she can stack infinitely.
Sure.
But that's still a very, very long ways off.
Remember as well, just noted in the last patch, the ability to get a soul from farming has dropped significantly to about 1.76% to be specific. So it is harder to pick up your souls, increase your range, and increase the range of your piercing darkness as well. Right now, sitting on 3 items there is Puff, and has gone for the Mortal Reminder to stop the healing that's coming through, I believe, Clement, but also stop the tanks, the front line of FPX that we're talking so heavily about.
Definitely is the case here. Now,
okay. Does Doinb care?
This is a pretty obvious bait. TheShy still goes for it.
Oh, Realm Warb's going to be used, though, so ultimate for ultimate. You take that if you're TheShy.
It's a very interesting case right there. Actually, their own support was closer to rotating downwards, but they had some blows with TheShy and thought, you know, we could go for less riskier things. They don't really need to do this right now. Yep. They're in a commanding lead. Rookie cannot walk past the river himself. So for FPX, there's not a lot of reason to actually be forcing that.
Sure. It's happened once, it's happened before. Tian has really tried to push that bottom lane to its limits with TheShy in it. But now he's got a bit of freedom. He's now pushing out. He's still looking towards that Flame Horizon, which, by the way, has been achieved by Doinb in the mid lane. But Clement, I'll ask you a question. Which champion do you prefer to be more fed? Your Ornn or your Ryze?
I would say my Ryze for
your
sure.
Ryze? Now,
he's a damage dealer. You
look at that for FPX and say, I'm happy to take my Ornn 100 CS behind because he's still tanky as hell.
Still's going to get that perfect utility, and they're stacking up on Righteous Glories right here.
That they are.
That's pretty funny. I like the idea. Like, you give Misfortune movement speed to walk forward, she's going to have an escape against the people that are going to come from the back. Like, if Ning's coming in from the back, you actually give her a chance to actually run away from that, too.
Ning picks himself up at GA here at this point. We've gotten to a pretty slow point of the game where FPX happy to keep pushing forward. They're waiting for that 4th dragon to come, that last Infernal.
Yeah, and this is going to be a very easy setup for FPX. They have the Realm Warp potential to send someone back and just get that engage regardless. Let's say they send Tian back with his GA. If IG decide to check for Baron, they're 100% going to get that engage. Yep. So they're just in the setup phase right now. They have all of their core items. Look at LWX. This is the trap being laid. Will IG respond correctly to this? They have a great ward in the Baron pit that's actually not spotted, so there's no reason they should actually be walking into this trap.
Yeah, they don't need to check it, but Ning could possibly find a flank. He's going to clear out this vision, get spotted in the process. But FPX don't move. They're waiting in that middle brush, and Crisp is looking for the clap. He has a great Solar Flare if he lands it onto Puff.
He's been completely unspotted. Here comes Tian.
Zenith Blade goes across 2 members. Here comes the Solar Flare eventually. The Ornn Horn locked into the back line as well. Ning and Puff are separated as the carpet finally comes down. FPX don't land the key ultimates, and now Khan is locked up into the air. They jump on him. He flashes away. Crisp is there as well. Tian eventually comes through. They set up the bullet time for LWX, but the damage just doesn't go down. They'll trade off eventually, but for IG, they are winning this fight. They have found the 80 carry, and Tian just has to pick up the remnants, which is so damn hard when TheShy jumps on you like that.
Oh my god, what a disaster for FPX. They went right in, but I thought Tian, the core piece with the GA, was going to be in that Realm Orb. He wasn't present, the bot lane is able to flash out, and that leaves TheShy open straight to the backline carries of FPX.
And they denied the Dragon Soul here. FPX have to wait for the next Infernal. That puts more time on the clock, and that means that, all right, we got to wait for the next 6 minutes unless Doinb can do something here. Southwind is low. He's starting to spread the disease known as Riseism. Puff gets at half health, but Doinb is way too low. He pushes him off. Puff is still willing to go in, but Doinb hits the dragon, picks up the explosion known as the soul, and Puff, even in his shadow, is going to get knocked up as well. IG get alphaed off the dragon.
Oh, that was such a close attempt there, but the two-man game, 2v4 from FPX, way too strong in that moment. You have to remember, that Rise is still uber-fed, and he doesn't have any problems with long cooldowns here. So we're going to see an AoE stack from FPX right now with the Infernal Drake Soul.
That's true.
Outside of their already pretty substantial lead.
Infernal Dragon Soul on the Rise as well. It's going to be super fun to watch. So bonus stats here for FPX. An Elder coming up. Remember, folks, 10.1 or even in the off-season, Elder now executes below 20%, as Tian says. Thank you. So it's another condition on the board for FPX.
Yeah, and they have a lot of squishy targets that FPX can focus down. The lower your HP is, the easier you're going to be able to execute just with that Elder Drake coming in. And if you look at Rumble's build right now, he knows he has to turn this team fight with damage. There's no defensive Zhonya's here. He's going to be super easy to focus down. I think FPX, even with their failed engages previously, they're going to be even more brazen in these next couple of team fights.
I think they're feeling super safe. I mean, the Ornn's always going to add more money, but remember, the front line is getting beefier here for FPX. So if they fail, the ability to reset, the ability to continue in these long fights if they have to, gets better with time.
And they're also doing a very good warding job as well. There are no backline wards for IG, no opportunities for Ning to actually find a flank here. And with the waves push into themselves, you don't really see TheShy branching off. He knows the potential for a quick Baron, a quick engage is too high, so he's sticking with his team.
Well, Baron has begun. Now for FPX, this looks like it's going down pretty damn fast with the help of the Infernal Soul. Soulflare's going to stop the rest of IG, and that's Baron just gone. Now look at where Ning is. He pops the ulti. The carpet comes down as well, but Bullet Time gets sent on outwards. LWX is smacking. So is Doinb. TheShy can't carry this one, and FPX have taken it single-handedly with the triple kill going to LWX, and Rookie just wanting to escape this horrible place. He'll do it for now, but for FPX, they've solidified what this game is.
Yeah, and that was quite remarkable from FPX. They didn't even need the Ornn ult to win that team fight. It was just the stack of damage, the Dragon Soul there, and now they're just playing keep away for Rookie. He's not going to be able to defend his base here.
Yeah, there's big death timers as well. Ning not up for 10 seconds. Southwind going to follow suit, and Rookie stopped again, while LWX is going to be able to pick up an inhibitor here.
Insane display of how far ahead FPX actually were in that fight. They pretty much face tanked the Kiana ultimate.
He's still
leave
here.
Rookie alone.
And Tian, you know he's about to jump in. How annoying is this? Yeah, throw a teleport out. Rookie's like, I just want to go home. Khan is fast. That is a fast whatever Ornn's animal is. And Rookie's going to get bumped away. That is a disconstrued death timer now on the board.
I just want to see a replay of that fight as we pan across the broken corpse of Rookie.
Yes.
So FPX know they're on the counter engage. They're willing to face tank the entirety of Ning's ultimate, and it's completely fine for them. It takes so much effort for them to just take down Doinb, and LWX, he's untouched during the entire fight. TheShy goes in for one last bravado, but can't even get the edge of his sword onto LWX, and Rookie is just left playing on the map for the rest of the game.
It must be great having a front line like that for LWX, where he can send out the ult and have no fear that anyone's going to get to him. It's the third time that that ultimate has pretty much cleaved through the front line of IG and set him up for success. 7-9 now. The Molten Edge was already picked up before, but he's got 4 items. After the GA went towards the Maw of Malmortius, and now heads towards the top lane with the rest of FPX, Baron buff in hand.
IG still have significant wave clear to hold this one off. Puff should have a lot of stacks. He gets 25 range per 20 stacks, so should be able to ward this off for now.
The issue is that as soon as FPX group towards 5-man in that top side, can they defend? The ultimate used just to stop the minion wave here. It will persuade them for now, but Puff, Solar Flare, Call the Forge God used. At least a couple of key ultimates down for FPX.
And LWX just brutalizes that tower down with raw 80 damage. Almost only took her a QAQ.
But meanwhile, Clement, mid lane's channeling in. FPX can walk up to the inhibitor. Double inhib down now in game 1.
Very seasoned play by FPX. They bait out the ultimates. They wait their turn to go in. Just not a lot that IG can do. And I just want to mention that we are going to be seeing a lot more Orns. That's one of the biggest side effects of the Conqueror changes. You no longer do true damage. You instead have increased healing when you reach max stacks. And this has allowed some tanks to get a lot of breathing room, especially someone like Orn.
That's true. I mean, it was pretty interesting to see no tanks when Conqueror came out. People wondered why. But you're right. Orn coming through. I know there's other top lane tanks. We'll eventually see Malphite out of Doinb once he has his skin as well, but that probably won't be tank.
Probably not.
Probably not.
He did play at AP.
Not if he plays at mid, for that matter as well.
I think he did actually build a couple tank items in the end as well.
He was just looking hybrid, at it, like, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, well, you're a full AD team. This is a great pick.
That's true. And everyone gets a world skin because he played it as well. That's just the best part. Elder has spawned though, and FPX have started it up. If they get this Elder, IG can kiss the team fight goodbye before it's even begun.
They're going to have to rely on Ning stealing this one. I think that's the only scenario where they come out ahead in this one.
Blocked by the Brom once again. The counter
going
to
in.
the Orn at 2k damage. They're looking for the kill. Ning does steal it away. Big moment for IG with the Elder execution. FPX might have to leave. The Solar Flare to stop them in place, but TheShy is persistent. He gets one execution but doesn't find the other. As jumping into the back line, ambitious as hell. Tian will go down too, and FPX actually lose the fight.
That was 1 for 3. IG pull out the miracle steal right there, and you can see how much that Elder Drake really does. TheShy goes in on LWX, who is nearly half health, and just one hit from his sword was able to proc it at the same time, and he gets the kill.
The game continues, Clement. Elder held on by Invictus Gaming. Well, now we have to wait another 5 minutes or FPX to find one of their big fights again, but IG always fighting back in this game, never giving us a dull moment.
Yeah, there were so many good plays here. First, Southwind actually blocks the Orn ultimate so they can continue to move on towards the Elder Drake, and Ning with such a good steal right here. Watch TheShy. He's sitting among a bunch of Stasis GA people, and he just goes in for LWX. The back line is gone. There's still a bunch of members on FPX, and Puff even finds the exit kill.
Yeah, that was one of the cleaner plays by IG. And you can see, even though we talked about scaling, being in favor by FPX, you look at Invictus Gaming, and as we mentioned, the Aatrox more than online. The Aatrox is doing a lot of work here in the hands of TheShy, but the ults from Rookie, Puff, now almost full build.
Unfortunately for IG, we do have to mention that the Elder buff only lasts for 3 minutes. It gives you 20% execution at low HP for the enemies, but unlike that, the Dragon Soul stays forever. Dragon Souls are like diamonds.
Yes. Great. Thank you, Clement. I know, because you just got married. That's in the back of your mind, isn't
really
it?
Expensive.
Okay, teleport's going to be used mid by TheShy. It looks like they're keying up for the fight again, because you look at the Baron buff sitting there and waiting, and IG have priority, so Doinb burns his teleport, but to the bottom side of the map, it's going to be the pressure of the turret. In fact, 2 TPs with LWX joining the fray.
Oh, they're forcing IG to make tough decisions right here. Tian is still hanging around for a possibility to get that steal, and IG have to respond to it. Their base is going down.
I mean, it's going to go down super quick. TheShy goes in, but Rookie hasn't burnt anything to get back. He's walked back.
They've been caught. Robo got him.
The equalizer is there. LWX actually does go down. Doinb flashes on top of him. Finds the first one. Senna's going to bring in the ultimate as well, but TheShy should be able to take the 1v1. Doinb kiting left and right. The Solar Flare to help, but it's not in time. TheShy finds a kill. Flash burnt by Khan as well. IG have everything in the making to continue winning this fight. Crisp is caught out again, walking back to his team, and Puff destroys him. FPX have big death timers for 3 of their members.
Yeah, and that was just an unfortunate layering of the timers coming in from FPX. There were still 30 seconds on the Elder buff, so they didn't want to do a full contest onto the Baron buff, despite them having sort of a front-to-back teamfight edge. Instead, they go for the base race, and a great response from Rookie. Rookie catches them out.
That's right. And they weren't able to get one of the Nexus turrets there, Clement, so IG, they remain intact. They hit up this Baron. Khan and Tian are still here, but they don't have help for at least 15 seconds.
It's a pretty slow Baron take that we're witnessing right here. Not exactly the highest of sustained damage incoming from Puff.
Southwind doesn't have his wall. In comes Tian a little bit early, but goes in for the damage to Cataclysm on top of Puff, but they get destroyed. The monster is still alive in TheShy as the ult comes through, but not enough to take away the Baron. IG secure that, and 2 more kills.
I did not see this game coming to this point. I thought FPX was going to run away just with the mid-game. And now they're actually in a prime position to reverse the map. They're going to be able to push out much further than they've ever had. And with their wombo combo, this is going to give a lot more opportunities for Ning to actually find the backline.
That's right, and with TheShy in that side lane that we talked about, Baron in the hands of this overly fed Aatrox. I mean, right now, FPX have to watch it. Because every moment that comes forward towards IG, they're throwing it in the air and somehow they're catching it.
Everything just started from Ning stealing the Elder buff.
Yeah.
Because that gave them a timer to extend towards the Baron contest, and now the Baron buff is going to extend back into the Elder buff. Now, the Elder buff doesn't stack like before, but it still does a lot of damage in those team fights. That 20% execution is nothing to scoff at, and you can see IG already setting up for that play.
Yep. Turret down here is going to help massively as well. Give him a bit more breathing room at the 42-minute mark. If the minions can do it, the answer is probably no. But you're right, they reset. We've got a minute until the Elder respawns, and Baron is available for a minute 40. So they're going to overlap, and much to Invictus Gaming's delight, they can push mid, they can push the side lanes with it, and set themselves up even more.
I really want to see how many stacks Puff has at this point. In the late game, Puff, as a Senna, you can actually just sit outside of turret range and contest.
Yeah, that's true. You got that much range. TheShy wants to go in onto Tian again. He gets pulled back. Remember, GA still available. Cataclysm in as it gets burnt down. Forge God is there, but
great equalizer.
FPX get burnt by Rookie. Doinb comes in towards the mid lane, takes Ning down, but the rest of FPX have to scatter.
Really good stun incoming. You saw the unroll chains there, and now the ultimate is used to wave clear.
But it does hardly anything. Southwind blocks it. They turn onto Khan. The Righteous Glory won't get him out of there. He's very, very low as Invictus Gaming charge mid. They find the inhibitor, but with 10 and 30 seconds on his death timer, they want to push in.
It's going to be a little bit difficult for FPX to finish the game. They still have the double towers at this point, and Ryze...
is it though?
Wait a minute.
Puff. Flashes on top of Doinb. The rookie 80 carry.
I was saying Ryze maybe could wave clear, but guess not.
FPX have one Nexus turret remaining. IG keep on going. Chris goes right on in, but I think that's the wrong call. Forge God to come through as well, but IG are healing back up. Puff has destroyed Mr. Doinb and Crisp in the making. Tian jumps in to die again. IG have an exposed Nexus, and they're going to take it. Puff is unstoppable, and Khan doesn't have the damage to defend this. He'll run back towards the fountain, and Invictus Gaming outclass the world champions in game number 1.
I'm absolutely speechless. IG looked like this game was over for them. They had an early Drake teamfight composition that didn't get any leads. The scaling was running away for FPX, but in those teamfights, FPX made a lot of mistakes. I felt like they got a little bit cocky with their lead. They didn't go in with the right combinations. The Ornn and Misfortune ultimate layering was always blocked out by Southwind. He did a great job on that Braum.
That was a great game 1. You have to admit, the way this was hyped up, the emphasis on this series after the 2 world champions from 2018 and 2019 meet, this lived up to the hype.
That was the first game I saw a team with Dragon Soul lose. I don't think it ever happened in Demacia Cup. It's such a powerful buff, and it lasts the entire game. I'm just speechless.
Yeah. Great start there. Having a quick look at the damage as well. I think LWX and Puff are going to have a great rivalry this season. There is so much to look forward to with these 80 carries going head-to-head, and you can see the bottom lane synergies that is building here in the LPL.
And that's why I actually still had IG very high up in the rankings despite their loss of Jackie Love. I actually thought that Puff fit right into the team.
Yep.
And in their matchup against FPX, the two teams know who has the better ADC just in the laning phase itself. You could see how much respect FPX had to pay towards the likes of Puff, banning out 3 of his champions.
Yeah, that's right.
Doinb is now naturalized, so he does technically count as a Chinese LPL player.
He's a domestic player now, that's right.
That opens up the possibility for FPX to actually stuff another Korean on their starting lineup if they so choose to.
Well said, Clement. Well said.
integrate.
Yeah, no. We'll jump into game number 2. Invictus Gaming once again on the blue side here, which they had success with in last game. We'll see what comes out crazy, because right now the standard bans are Nautilus, the Pantheon towards Doinb, but of course Aphelios, we will not see him today. All bets off. You know?
Yep. From what we've been hearing, the general consensus is that he's just a little bit overstated.
Yeah.
So I don't expect anyone to actually let him out. He's over 100% ban rate in High Challenger Korea right now.
Makes sense.
Which just goes to show you...
Over 100%.
Over 100%. Both teams banned it.
101%. Wow. Now I understand what you mean. Look, he's right now Moonlight Vigil, and you're telling me Infernum is just ridiculous. But I'll digress. We see an IG ban for the Rumble on blue side this time around.
Yeah, very interesting. So Rookie basically handing in the towel and saying, you know what? I'm not going to touch this.
If I can't play it, no one can. Okay.
And we're looking at the third ban here. What we did mention, there are a lot of ADCs that FPX probably don't want on the hands of Puff. Puff actually did play a bit of Lucian as well, but mainly we've been seeing the ridiculous plays from Lucian in TheShy solo queue.
I was about to say, remember
Rookie.
that Lucian just spreads across the map here for Invictus Gaming, so that's a multi-ban from FPX. But you've got the Kiana first pick again, so when we were talking about Ning not willing to pick up this champion, looks like those days are over.
Yep.
Also a flex between IG, so not going to call it yet.
I think they're going to continue with the misfortune. If they don't pick it up here, it's so easy for IG to just instantly lock that in. And with Puff's laning prowess, I think it's going to be a massive problem for FPX. So they're pretty much forced into this champion pick at this point.
But do they go and switch their jungler? Remembering that to the mid lane, Elise has been a favorite of Tian before. Freeze up Doinb. Great gank potential, great diving potential. He's going through them all.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that FPX actually won the Game 1 draft, and if they played with a little bit more patience, they should have taken that game. So they're going back to, you know, what has worked so far.
Yep.
And on the other hand, we're seeing IG lock down the Varus, and usually it's the Tahm Kench because he does lack mobility, but they are considering the Braum with his recent buffs. And
yeah.
He does play a lot of Braum as well.
He does play a lot of Braum, also plays a lot of Tahm Kench, so I like that we're going between those two. Varus, a little bit of a change up here in 10.1. Bit of extra damage on the Q, so...
A lot of extra armor as well. That was his main buff. So, unfortunately for Braum, his first item typically isn't the Gargoyle Stoneplate. So, giving him a little bit of stats to match up to guys like Nautilus or Leona is really going to help him here. And we're seeing FPX not actually challenging the top lane. Now, I will point out that we have seen Doinb play Mordekaiser mid as well.
True.
But it typically isn't a pick that you want to show early on. He has very limited mobility, and if the enemy can get a very strong mid-jungle combination, then you're in trouble. Like, if they just go for something with hard CC, it's going to be difficult for Mordekaiser actually to come out of that lane, so I'm still expecting him more likely to be a top lane pick.
That's true, but this time around, we're not waiting for that top lane counter pick or that top lane last pick, as we talked about with FPX.
Yeah, I think FPX are probably going to be forced to ban out the Aatrox at this point.
Yep. I can see that. We've already got an Elise ban on the side of FPX. IG actually respect Doinb's Rise, who dealt a bucket load last game, but instead FPX, no, they banned the Gragas away, so they're jungle focused here, assuming that Kiana is going into a side lane.
Yeah, this is a little bit weird because I feel like the jungle picks are just done to make sure that, you know, they don't run away with a potential Mordekaiser, ganking Mordekaiser mid over and over again. That's what it feels like to me. And FPX are just, they're kind of hinting that, hey, this Mordekaiser can go both ways with their bans as well. So a bit of interesting development here.
But you know what I like? When FPX hover Tahm Kench, you know what they say? They say we're going to dive. And Thresh can facilitate the same thing. That's going to go over to Crisp. So bottom lane set up once again.
The
last pick, mid lane.
Raz lesson.
Yeah.
No, never talk about hovers.
Oh. It always gets you. Okay, Invictus Gaming. Let's change things around. Let's see where that Kiana is finally going.
Not a lot of knockups so far, so don't expect the Yasuo. Kennen was the most played champion for TheShy in 2019.
But we get an Orianna. So, hello, rookie.
This is one of his old go-to picks.
Yeah.
Whenever he needs something blind, I think Orianna is just one of the champions that you've always seen rookie turn towards.
Yep.
Great late game scaling, can keep his distance against the Mordekaiser.
But FPX left the Aatrox open, and you were mentioning it just before. That's going to be taken away by TheShy. So once again, the Kiana goes into jungle.
Yeah, this is what I thought was going to happen, because Aatrox is such an obvious counter pick to the Mordekaiser that you really wouldn't draft this way unless you were going to ban the Aatrox. So then banning away the the priority junglers basically meant that they wanted this Mordekaiser to go mid, make sure that he wasn't going to collapse early, and now they have a counter pick opportunity against TheShy. This is going to be amazing. This is exactly what they wanted with Khan.
We finally got it. I didn't want to see another Ornn matchup, right? I'd never say that on broadcast, but we get Khan's Fiora versus TheShy Aatrox. We actually get revenge in the top lane and see how it's going to be served between them. Because, Clement, I look at that composition. You got Mordekaiser, you got Fiora, you got a similar type of bot lane. FPX are running it again.
Yeah, and this is a very strong 1-3-1 composition they could transition into. The mid game is going to be dominant. You know, you can catch someone in Cataclysm. Mordekaiser can follow up on that very easily, just drag someone into the Death Realm. Well, IG, I feel like their composition is a little bit less focused. They have the Braum to counter out the Misfortune, but their mid lane's not going to be operational until much later into the game. And the Aatrox versus Fiora matchup, it's a very heavy skill matchup. However, I will say that I do favor the Fiora just a tad bit, because everything from Aatrox is going to be fairly telegraphed, and that's going to give a lot of riposte time for the Fiora.
I'll also add as well, for Invictus Gaming, the similarity between Game 1 and Game 2, it feels like they've built up the stacking ultimates again. You think Supreme Display of Talent, you think Shockwave, Aatrox dunking down with his Q in World Ender, and suddenly you've got a combination again that they've built. So for FPX, that was part of the way that they lost the last game, was with the ultimates that were so nicely layered. IG can do it again.
It is a combination, but the power spikes don't align themselves that well for the likes of IG. Orianna is still a champion pick that, while I've seen Rookie play very lane dominantly with this champion, I don't expect him to have the same impact as something like the Rumble in terms of the first Drake fight. So this is something that I feel like IG was actually confused. That was a good play on FPX's part. Just showing the Mordekaiser, not banning the Aatrox, and then still saving the final counter pick for Khan.
It seems like FPX brought the 500 IQ to attempt to bring us into a Game 3. But it does come down to this game, and see if FPX can keep the wheel turning. Because you've got Khan, you've got TheShy in the same game, and you finally got the carry versus carry that we've been waiting for. I want to see what happens up in the top lane, and I want to see FPX running into Invictus Gaming for game number 2 to kick off spring. And Umi still supports FPX. She's still there every single week.
Can always hear her leading the chant. She's the president of the Doinb fan club.
Of course.
And if you want to buy Doinb merchandise, there's actually a lot that she produces.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure, you know what, after winning Worlds, I'm sure that merchandise is going to be worth a lot more money.
Oh, yeah. Plus the skin, too. You know, picking the Malphite skin always feels bad because I just don't think there's going to be that many Malphite players.
Dude. The Malphite players, everyone's hating it because in solo queue, that's when the Malphite players will come out for the skin. So I think it's a great move. You know?
I have to support Jackie Love in his decision. He was basically saying, I'm picking Kaisa because she's pretty overpowered, at least in 2000.
Everyone will buy her.
Yes. I want my
Okay.
auto attack animation to look as sharp as possible so it will get the greatest reach.
And that's the big brain play out of Jackie Love. So I'm sure the name will be thrown around. We're having a quick look at where the junglers are starting this game. We're on the normal side, but you saw a ward was actually dropped by Invictus Gaming towards red buff. So they know Tian is towards the top side, but he's going for vertical jungling to kick us off.
Yeah, and just looking at these trade patterns coming in from Rookie, that's such a interesting build from him. He's going the phase rush just so that he can have maximum punishment in this lane early.
Looks like the phase rush is working out so far. Doinb has opted in, of course, with the Conqueror on the Mordekaiser. So getting pushed in nice and early here from Rookie. Good to see that the lanes are shifting a little bit to kick us off in Game 2, Clement.
Tian coming in for the gank, gets the slow.
Okay, flag and drag used anyway. That's the immediate flash out of TheShy, so ability to repeat the gank in the top lane.
Might be one of the few scenarios where we could see TheShy bested in lane. It's only happened a couple times in the entirety of the LPL.
True.
We've been able to see Flandre do it, Zoom do it, but not much else beyond those names listed. So if the Khan can join that club, it's going to be a great news for FPX.
Really good start to the year, I'd say, as well. We were questioning how he would assimilate on this roster when Gimgoon himself was part of the success of FPX. The ability to play weak side. If FPX can turn that into a bonus, then they could be even more unstoppable than they already were in 2019. He's got a CS lead up here. He's gone for biscuits as well, so there's a lot of regen on Khan with the Doran's Blade intact.
And with this wave slow pushing over, I do think that we might have to see some jungle presence in the top lane coming in from IG just to make sure that he isn't dove.
But Ning's down bottom. He's doing Scuttle Crab right now. He's gone in for the vertical jungling. FPX are aware because there was a ward dropped on the Wolf camp, which has now been taken, as far as I can see. And Tian is going back towards the top lane. He's level 3. He's looking for a path in.
Yeah, there's no flash on the Aatrox, and this is going to be very dicey. I do expect Ning to match here. He is going up towards the top side.
He has backed. He's picked up the Skirmishing Smite, so he's got an item advantage over Tian.
I will say they did spot Jarvan 4 coming in based on the ward they had at Wolves, and TheShy does get a good trade here.
I mean, he's level 3, but the thing is, TheShy might be able to survive this gank. Into the flag drag, he picks up Conquerors. A great riposte there from Khan. Tian takes the turret perfectly. First blood, first flash, Khan survives. That was masterclass, and they get out.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for IG. They really needed Kiana up top. It was a very telegraphed play, and they even saw the Jarvan 4 moving up. So unfortunate that they were not able to match here. However, Rookie, knowing where the jungler is on the map, might get this kill. Wow, great placement of that orb.
Yeah, Doinb is low. He's backing, otherwise he's dead. He's got teleport, Clement, so he will be able to get back in lane. But Rookie has the same, and he has a CS advantage, building up to 20 at 4-5 minutes in the game.
You just forget about Orianna even exists in the meta. The only person that consistently just picks it up out of nowhere has been Rookie in these games. And he's showing his mastery on the champion just with the phase rush, making sure that Doinb can never get any of those pulls and get his death rises to continue to stick on him.
And this is a really different dynamic, isn't it? Because now that mid lane is controlled by Invictus Gaming, there's no freedom for Doinb to make roams. There's no freedom for Doinb to actually survive lane, then look for something else. He's under the whim of Rookie, and remember, Rookie almost has level 6, so there's kill threat there.
Yeah, and that's always been the classical answer on how to defeat FPX. You have to cut the spinal cord off and basically make sure that Tian and Doinb cannot be this giant roaming unit. Looking at the bot lane, IG has actually been getting better ends of these trades from what we've been seeing.
However, even though Ning's here, Tian is doing the dragon, so while I agree, you look at the objectives, once again, FPX are on top of it. Infernal into Mountain next. Bit of bonus stats here for FPX to kick off the game.
Just a small note that Drakes individually are not as strong as they were before. It's more about playing towards the stacks these days. You only get 4% extra attack damage and AP compared to the old season. So I actually think that a lot of times the individual Drakes don't matter that much in the scheme of things. A lot of times if you get the Herald trade and you're able to snowball some gold off of it, I consider that a win.
Okay, that's fair.
But, you know, still a good find for FPX, using that teleport timing quite well.
Still about playing the long con, isn't it? Getting those dragons up to get the soul, because dragon souls are pretty busted, if I dare say so myself. And building up to that, FPX have begun. So when you have a game that, as we talked about, relies on these key ultimates to kind of lay down for FPX, and the side lanes that we talked about, having the Dragon Soul once again is to the merit of FPX.
TheShy just looking for some poke, trying to see if he can force out that riposte in any part of the fight.
But he is not winning these trades whatsoever. I know we talked about this matchup, Clement, but double Doran's played. The cookies are still coming in there for Khan. He has a 15 CS lead. This lane is hurting for the shot.
And it's exactly what we wanted to see from Khan. Doinb is actually getting his footing in lane as well. Once he hits that level 6, it's going to be very difficult for a rookie to actually approach him. You can just flash and R him. And with that jungle, ooh.
Oh, hang on, grand challenge, immediate flash. Khan wants to flex onto TheShy. He didn't burn his flash, but Khan did so. There's a slight advantage for TheShy if he can turn this back around. Yeah, that was a really quick move by TheShy. He instantly hugged the wall and made sure that the 4th Vital was not going to proc, and with Khan seeing that, he flashes out, knowing that the chances for him getting the kill were quite slim. But to make sure that TheShy can't actually bring this back into his favor, FPX are moving Tian and Doinb up to the top side. Blast Cone means he's going to get spotted out. Underneath the turret, TheShy is getting bullied again. The flag and drag doesn't connect. TheShy finally burns his flash, and Tian is knocked back by Infernal Chains. In comes Ning to save his life. TheShy is still alive! He's in the brush, he's ducking out, eventually he dies. But Ning brings the ultimate play, the shockwave comes through, Doinb tries to get something out of it, but Ning is running for his life while Rookie is just trying to go far.
Rookie's caught.
He gets pulled back in, Khan pokes him down, Doinb smacks him down. FPX win the fight, but IG make it close.
Yeah, wow, that was such a good play from TheShy, and he basically had the Umbral Dash animation hidden within one of his Q strikes, or I believe it was his E strike, so Tian really didn't notice that and was caught back underneath his own tower. That was such a good use of basically the tower obscuring vision.
This is what you get when you put two of the best teams in the world together. You get the World Champions of 2018, you get the World Champions of 2019, you throw them into a lane and you say, go.
Very well done on the mechanics, and you don't even see the Umbral the chains come out from TheShy at all. That was such a good animation cancel from his part. Rookie comes in and tries to save this, but we were talking about this before the game. Orianna, unfortunately, just isn't a champion that can turn these types of fight at level 9, and when she's trying to walk out of it, she even gets tagged by Doinb's Death's Grasp, and that's pretty much all she wrote.
Yeah. Close FPX win out. I love the fact that Doinb had to use his, realm for TheShy to take him down before he turned his tide onto Khan. So that makes things interesting, Clement. Towards the top side, still an advantage for Khan, but TheShy was able to get himself an assist, a bit of gold, and some gold onto Ning. We'll see if Ning can get towards the top side, because TheShy has finally been able to push out.
We're seeing pings go all across the map at this point, and FPX is basically tunneling all of their intention into this top lane. They're asking, hey, do they have any wards on this path from mid lane to top lane? If not, I'm going to come again. You see Chris already moving towards that lane. We call that the Silk Road to the side lanes.
Yeah. The grand challenge time, Clement. I'll pause you for a second. Khan on top of TheShy. Tian is here. I think he's going to die. An easy flag drag and an easy thank you given over to FPX again as a hook. What was that hook? You insane, man. The flash to come through. Southwind is matching him. Ning is alive for now.
Puff is here as
well.
well.
While the thresh was good, Tian comes through and cleans up Ning. Puff at low health as well. Khan jumps in. Chris lands yet another one. And in comes Doinb. Give me a replay, because that was a beautiful thresh Q.
Talk about death sentences being handed out, and Chris landed every one of them. That was across the wall, and I don't even think he had vision on that play.
I think there's a ward there. I don't care.
I'm not sure if it was dropped after or before, but that was some clean play from that Chris Brome.
I stand my ground, as that's what TheShy is doing with Khan right now. We'll get a quick look at that once again, but look at what is happening every time they fight. FPX are winning out. They've got the Brazil to live up to on the board now. They've got a 2K gold lead, and Doinb has 3 kills in a lane that he was getting smashed in.
Just just watching this trade again. TheShy tries to hide himself by hugging the wall, but unfortunately the Vitals are already procced on the inner side. He gets down and is killed pretty fast from the fight. There's no ward in that location, and Crisp is able to find that one blind.
He saw him jump over.
Yeah, he did see him jump over. That's
still brilliant.
Impressive.
You know, you think they're going to juke. He doesn't. He throws it out, and he makes it. And FPX clean up the rest of them, while Crisp still looks damn good. Meanwhile, while we're in the replay of the Dragon, yep, Khan just kills TheShy. Okay.
Straight up solo kill here.
Yep.
And Ning always seems to be one step behind the play in that one. Not able to help his top laner out.
Doinb teleports into match Rookie. Now they're just topside. I mean, Khan, that was so easy. TheShy's not going to have the same game. He can't get away with the same stuff he did against the Ornn. He's got a Fiora in the side lane that is destroying him now.
There's simply no way that TheShy can claw his way back into the lane just 1v1. He has to do something else when he needs to get proactive ganks from the rest of his teammate for this one to actually work out at this point. It's not like the previous game where the opponent is an Ornn and he can just freely farm his HP and push his waves out like that.
Yep.
And with the top lane play as well, what was so relieving about that for FPX is they got LWX back in the game. He actually was down 15-20 CS in the laning phase itself.
Now he's got back up. Now Puff is in a lot of trouble. The riposte comes through from Khan. He gets the movement speed. The Grand Challenge is still there. Walks over the side and cleans him up. Khan, welcome to the LPL, my friend.
He's going to be a very treasured addition to this FPX roster.
I'm sure he is. FPX, not only the bottom lane, but the top lane now. As into the Death Realm, Doinb brings TheShy. He's got the world end of it. I don't think he's any match for this 3-0 Mordekaiser, but I'll take that back for a second. Because you have a Shockwave, you have the damage, and you have Southwind. TheShy brings him back out and says, I have some help. Tian's going to die as well. Rookie survives. I love the LPL. Thank you, 2020.
40 HP on Rookie, but he gets the shield back to himself and the damage path through as well. Survives the play.
We're firing on all cylinders here in Game 2, Clement.
You can never keep TheShy completely out of the game.
You cannot. Doesn't matter if he's 0-4. He will catch up. Turrets being hit while all the shenanigans going topside. It was a bit of gold towards Khan in the bottom side, a bit more through the mid lane with LWX and Crisp, and now finally TheShy gets some freedom in lane. He'll get some more gold towards his first item.
I've got to say that I think once more FPX has lost their patience a little bit. They were showing on the map with Crisp in the mid lane, but they still decided to go 2v. Look at this play here. Like, Crisp is nowhere near the scene. This is a 2v3 play. They think they can kill TheShy as soon as possible, but TheShy does a good job of just getting his stances back and healing up all of that damage lost. And he's been able to keep Doinb's HP low with the Executioner's Calling as well.
Rookie got the shutdown, and he was able to pick up his first item off it. He's actually gone for the hose. So first item here on a phase rush Orianna. Nothing of the sort of the Luden's Echo instead. Oh, hang on a minute. That's going to be the dodge away through the Proto Belt, but FPX, the rest of them are here.
It always seems like TheShy's alone on this island, but can he actually outplay this? Doinb might be pushing a bit too far.
That Aatrox has no items, and he's able to 1v1 a Mordekaiser who's 3-1. That's Aatrox, I guess.
That was very good presence of mind from TheShy. He's going forward instead of going backwards. If he went back, the tower was low. There was a good chance that Crisp could then impact the 1v1 and take his life.
That's true. They're constantly roaming towards the top side. They're continually bullying TheShy this game. But he's had enough.
I think at some point, you're going to see Khan go back and say, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
And just try to end the Aatrox.
He's had a Ravenous Hydra for about 3 minutes now, so this guy is stacked. We'll see what it's like when he gets back to TheShy, though, because TheShy should have a Black Cleaver at this point. He's been sitting on Phage and Kindle Gem for quite a while. Not just yet. Look at Rookie. Okay. There it is, finally. So TheShy waited, and first item now complete.
And I think this is a great time to take a look at the position from everyone on the map. Everyone's going to be gearing up for that next Drake fight. At the moment, FPX is going to have those lane leads. And there's only 1 minute down here, so you should start to seeing everyone kind of converge on that point. The Kiana ult is there as well. And once again, I feel like IG, for them, they do have to find flanking moments.
Oh no, hang on, pause a second, Clement.
Never mind.
Went too far in the lane. That was a great riposte from Khan. Forces the flash, but the problem is now, Ning is in the picture. Khan is running for his life. The Supreme display of talent against the wall. They get the ice, they get the lockdown. and they get the shutdown onto Ning.
600 HP. Everyone thought the attention was going to be in the bot lane, but this is the LPL, Everyone just thinks the opposite direction and tries to find catches as well.
That's right. Every lane is usually the go anyway. So Rookie survives once again. Khan goes down for a massive shutdown. All LWX and Crisp can do is push this mid lane turret and get a trade.
So here comes the real question, and I think one of the deciding fights that we're going to see in this game. Orianna doesn't have her ultimate, can't really join the fight at this point. And never mind, Tiana's actually in no position to challenge this one. So they do get the shutdown, but once again, they're going to be trading a big time bomb away to FPX, already stacking to 3 Drakes.
Yeah, remember what I talked about in the early game is that it's about the long con, it's about playing towards the soul. FPX, again, 3 consecutive Drakes. They've got the soul coming up next for Cloud. And that's the ult CDR that they're already building up. That's the movement speed with the ult as well. For a Fiora, that is gorgeous.
Yep. The 10% cooldown reduction onto ultimate really functionally changes a lot of assassins, especially champions like Corki, champions like Fizz. They actually really like that. It gives them so much more potential for damage dealing. And after that catch into the top lane, I want you to notice something is that TheShy is back in pretty even range against the Fiora at this point.
Yeah. CS is there. He's only about 15 behind at this point, which is so much less than you'd expect at this point in the game. And is caught up in levels as well. So now actually going to be matching Khan in the side lane. Unless he sees him and says no. But Crisp is converging there as well. Can't get another blind hook.
For these team fights, in terms of the 5v5, I actually favor IG's composition a little more.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. They do have a more clear separation for midline and backline than FPX. I feel like FPX is actually quite prone to just stepping into an Orianna Shockwave. They do have to move forward to continue their damage.
You have to look at who's squishy at this point, and pretty much you say everyone. The Jarvan doesn't have his tank items. The Thresh is nowhere near. In fact, he's picked up a QSS. So Crisp has gone super defensive here in the early game, meaning that you're right, someone's caught out. If someone goes in first, well, there's easy access. There's squishy members for IG to pick off. Yeah,
they don't have a lot of targets that can survive a round of burst from IG, and that's going to give IG a lot of opportunities to just straight out throw engages at FPX and see if it sticks, see if they can get any catches. So for now, I think both teams are going to be pretty happy just farming out the waves. But when it comes down to it, the 5v5, I see a lot of explosive potential coming in from IG.
Oh, they're going to have the Rift Herald to force this issue while FPX go towards the bottom side. This is the decision-making we were talking about a little bit earlier. IG, once again, for the objective top side, while FPX are forcing their way towards inhibitor turret.
FPX are not particularly confident on the team fights at this point. They're willing to just walk around the map and trade objectives. And having a Herald at this point in time is not really that effective. You have to be in a very good lane position. So getting that assured gold in hand, I think is a win for FPX.
Yeah, they're still pushing towards the bottom side. They free up mid as well. It's 2,000 gold and then some for FPX that they've maintained this game. But remember, game 1 was exactly the same. FPX held a controllable lead, or sorry, a controlled lead rather. And they maintained that pressure all across the game, but it was one play that Invictus Gaming took and then destroyed FPX with.
Yeah, if you really think about it, TheShy has so far outplayed 2 dives in this game.
Yeah.
The 3v1 in the top lane that got him an assist. Well, that was still bad for him, but he did get on the board. And then the 3v2 that FPX kind of willed themselves into that gave TheShy another chunk of big gold. They got Fiora out the back of that and were able to get TheShy farming time too. So this has really been a story about FPX trying to keep TheShy down, but TheShy, like the Aatrox that was reworked, just keeps on rising.
Keeps on coming to the top. He's doing fine in lane, and Colonel says, okay, it might be FPX favored, but there's still that slimmer of hope. I'm guessing, Clement, we're seeing Rookie being the key person. That's the new part of the graphic for this year. What's going on in that top bottom right corner?
So this is basically win rate predictions based on data collected throughout the entire, I think 2018 and forward. So they've been doing projections based on gold lead. I don't think it has anything to do with champions necessarily.
Okay.
So it's typically just very favored towards teams that have a small lead. It doesn't account for scaling that well.
Okay. Noted.
Yep.
I just saw Rookie's face and I thought, well, I'm going to assume that they think he's key to this game. And I would say for Invictus Gaming, now with Spellbinders attached, that's a 2-item Orianna with an interesting new build here this year.
And I do believe with Death's Realm, you can actually take Rookie's Ball into it as well. So you can maybe save your teammates from an AoE disaster if it does happen. That's maybe why they're highlighting Rookie.
Okay, I thought it fell off when he went into the how I went into the Death Realm. I have to look out for that interaction. IG though, they've dropped the Rift Herald mid, they've pushed mid, in fact, and Tian was trying to find a flank position, but he's been caught out, he's been sent out, and the Rift Herald not going to find another charge, but it did help push down the outer turret mid. Alright, fight's going to start here for Doinb. There's a flash in with a grasp as well into the Death Realm once again, but look at this. Puff is just whacking down Doinb. Into the shield he must go. The flash away from the shockwave as the Cataclysm lands in the backside. There again is a misfortune ult, and the ult to layer down here for the Brom is a little bit too late, but FPX don't have the damage at this point. TheShy finally comes in. They're scattered across the board, and Khan, the most fed member of FPX, is late to the party. But meanwhile, LWX is pushing them away. It's close by health bars, and Khan finally feels the spirit of it. Picks off one on the backside, and FPX trade barrels.
A massive separated fight at the beginning of that one. I actually felt like Doinb picked off a little bit more than he could chew, and both of the mid laners didn't trade ults optimally. We only saw Chris being hit by the shockwave coming in, and then FPX kind of fumbled their Cataclysm plus the Fiora coming into the team fight, so that gave IG a lot of chances here. I think it was pretty messy, but IG probably pushed themselves a little bit too hard trying to go for Khan in the 2v2 after that one. LWX with a good flash out, you know he doesn't get caught right here, but look at Khan. He's actually really trying to get into that Cataclysm. Can't find any purchase into the team fight, and later on this is all good for IG. This is fine. They just do chase the 2v2 a bit too much after this one, as TheShy is prone to do.
Khan re-engages this as well.
Oh, great EQ.
Hits the vitals, and yeah, sets up Khan for success.
It was a really good move from Tian. He gets the double knock up with his sliver of HP and turns the fight.
Okay, well, FPX still finding some favoritism here in the fights, but again,
that's the Dragon Soul. It's
the Dragon Soul that's been picked up. It's a cloud this time around, so when Khan uses the Grand Challenge, he's going to gain a burst of movement speed. Going to make it so much easier for the 1v1s. And sets them up for an Elder as well in 4 minutes and 50 seconds. So we're once again to that Elder win condition nice and early, set up for FPX.
Yep, the 30% movement speed after the Cloud Drake just makes it so easy to hit all of the vitals around the target.
Yep.
You're basically going to be able to walk behind them.
Got Trinity Force now as well, so Khan's got his big 2 items. Side lane's going to be his to own with TheShy, who still only has the Black Cleaver, still building towards the Death Dance, and is a level down. Khan's waiting. If TheShy checks this, could be dead.
We've seen a lot of outplays, but TheShy's already used his cooldowns.
World Ender as well. Look at Khan's movement speed. This is what we're talking about. He's hit all vitals. He's got TheShy under his arm, but forcing a teleport here while the rest of the fight goes through the mid lane. FPX have been taken though. Puff finds the first kill and into the second. Southwind jumps forward and LWX can't 1v3. That's an instant triple kill to Puff. They played that so damn well.
And FPX once again fall to their own split push. Doinb wasn't on the scene and they walk into a 2v3. Easy stand behind me coming in from Southwind, and they salvage the situation. This is going to be Baron.
Another Baron. Second game, IG going to pull out another purple worm. Khan trying to walk through, but Rookie zoning him out.
Yeah, it does look like Doinb's going to have 3 purchase here. I think he's going to take down Puck.
Yeah, Nether Grasp, but this is onto Ning, so he can't get the Baron. He takes down the jungler. He steals the stats. He's got Puck, and now he's got Southwind. Another triple kill, but FPX will take it this time.
Oh, IG tried to ward everything in the river, but they didn't get the ramp. So Doinb actually has free access straight into the Baron pit.
The only factor you take from that one is the fact that Khan goes down to Rookie. IG taking small amounts when the margin is so wide on this now 6-2-1. Mordekaiser in the mid lane. He's got 2 items, Clement, and right now Doinb is the saving grace of FPX in this mid game.
That's always the scariest point, where Mordekaiser can start to split push against anyone on your team. He has the kills to now basically find his targets quite freely. And I think overall what we've caught from that fight is FPX are still a little bit questionable when it comes to cross-map plays, especially with the new member of Khan on the roster. That was a little bit weird as they came in. The main thing that happened right here is even though it technically should have been a 4v3 in this situation, Doinb was not on site. So it ended up being a 3v3 with some very good ability usages from IG, and Doinb still comes in to find redemption.
You know what really worked there for Doinb is he got the Death Realm down before he got stunned up.
Yep.
Meaning that no one could follow up, meaning Puff. So right now, the Varus, if he can't hit Doinb, it feels like no one can. 2 items here, Blade of the Ruined King. Guinsoo's Rage Blade also has himself the denying of healing towards FPX. And Puff's had a great series so far, and he's going to be crucial in these upcoming fights.
I really want to see if IG can engineer sort of a front-to-back team fight. The Orianna ball is going to be massive here, and FPX don't really have a great front line to deal with it. So IG, I feel like they still have great chances to find a win, but they have to find ways and timings to kind of crack out of the 4-1 that FPX is throwing at them.
Yeah, because right now, positioning through mid, you can see that TheShy's getting shoved back. So IG feel like they're forced to run up mid to push it in and give some reprieve to TheShy, who's in danger of dying here underneath the turret. Khan's going to take the dive. Grand challenge is there into the world ender. Khan hasn't found the 4th vital yet. He flashes out. He actually can't find the last 2 as now FPX are forced to take the fight in mid themselves. Golden, Grand, no, it's not the play. That's going to be a shutdown going over to Puff once again. And FPX are down 1 member.
Man, TheShy just played that so well. Even though he was stunned up underneath his tower, his first instinct was to hug his tower. No grand challenge. The 4 vitals were not completely proc. You don't get the regen for Khan, and he's unable to stay underneath tower.
But here we go again. It's 5 versus 4 for 30 seconds. Doinb not available. And this Baron, it might not be super quick, but they've got an on-hit AD carry. It's going down.
This is going to come down to most likely a steal from Tian.
Ultimate interrupted on LWX. Southwind is over the wall. He flashes back, but not in time. LWX gets the support of Invictus Gaming, and that's enough to pull them off the Baron.
Once again, Ning misses his ultimate. That one didn't actually land on the terrain. It was supposed to.
And TheShy goes back in for a cheeky poke, and he might die because of it. He flashes over the wall. Khan forces the summoner.
I actually think if Ning landed his ult correctly on LWX, that should have stopped the bullet time and also took his life as well. So just a little bit of misplay, but very large consequences. It was a good setup, unfortunately not well executed.
Okay, but Clement right now, important thing is IG are looking for a trade. Elder Dragon is going to be picked up here by FPX.
Doinb is going down to try and get the same tricks.
It's 2 versus 3. He's running in onto Ning. That's the power of Mordekaiser. And they've jumped right back on the Baron. It's still getting proc. Doinb stoning as well. Baron's going to reset while Doinb finds yet another kill onto Rookie. Khan comes in and spanks TheShy while Puff has nowhere to go. FPX get 4 and are charging towards mid.
2 times in the same game. Doinb just outsmarts the crew from IG. Takes Ning away to the Death Realm. He cannot smite the Baron anymore. He can't even see the Baron. And they're able to take both major objectives on the map.
With the new Elder, you just can't fight because you get to 20% and you get blasted. Death timers might not be enough, but FPX think it's okay. They're going for the end.
Yeah, there's only Southwind here to stop. Ning is back, but he's caught already.
Well, they're going to take the fight. Ning is blasted. That's the execution we're talking about. And FPX fight back strong here in game number 2. They'll turn their attention to the Nexus. And thank you, says Hysterics, for a game 3 between these 2 teams.
FPX claw their way back into the series, and they showcase everything that we wanted them to. The counter pick, the last pick going towards Khan, showcasing that he can stand up to TheShy, play an aggressive matchup, and have the good synergy with Tian to shut him down early.
Because we got that carry matchup, didn't we? We got what we asked for, and Khan showcased he was the better top lane in that second game at least. And you can see, look at Khan's damage. He ran that solo lane, he ran the fights, and he ran that last play, which really caught IG out.
This game felt like it was inevitably going to go to TheShy still being able to influence the team fights, and it was actually really close on that Baron play. I actually felt like if IG, that was a critical play for me, if IG's Ning was able to land his supreme display of talent onto the red wall instead of the Krug wall,
True.
that probably would have been over. Because that would have stunned up LWX, stopped a lot of damage incoming. They would have been able to do cleanup, and they had a 5v4 advantage at that point. So, unfortunately, with that going awry, Ning just instantly evaporates, and FPX are able to come in.
I will say, though, for Ning, still hitting some good ults, some bads. Inconsistency still feels like it's there for IG's jungler, but at the very least, it's good to see FPX close this one out after what was a successful game 1-2, but ran away from them. For those wondering, MVP of game number 2 was, in fact, Doinb, just to confirm that there, coming through a little bit late. But back to the point of Layan, is that as a rookie, as someone who's been thrown up from IG Young, I think he has filled the shoes, and I think there's a lot of development in process, a lot of potential available for this jungler.
Yeah, and we did see that it was Lillian playing with TheShy most of the time, and Duke playing with Ning when the two duos were kind of rotating around. Now, going straight into the drafts once more, we're going to see IG go for what they've done in Game 2, down to the T, the exact same champion picks. And now's the question, is Lillian going to be a better pilot of Kiana than Ning?
Well, it looks like we're going to find out. First pick for IG once again. Reminder to all those at home, we are in 10.1, but of course Set is still disabled, and it will be disabled until the Wednesday. So exciting to think, but until then, the Aphelios must be banned. And FPX must pick up the Misfortune as their first rotation on red side once again.
Yeah, if you have a Misfortune going over to Puff, that spells a bit of disaster coming in from FPX. I think they're still going to lock it in regardless. And that should prompt another Braum pick, as we've seen for the entire series coming in from IG.
But now I'm curious as to what Puff does in Game 3. It was Varus the option in Game number 2. It was Senna in Game number 1. That was actually open last game. So does he return to that? Do they change their composition or just try and rinse and repeat like what FPX are doing with the Mordekaiser available?
So this is another pretty interesting kind of fake out. Like we were talking about, if you just ban the junglers out and you still have the counter pick, then you can decide where to put the Mordekaiser. It doesn't have to go into a single lane. And that's just one of the greatest benefits of Doinb. Like Doinb, he played, I did a count, I think he did 21 champions in summer. So one of the largest champion pools. And he shared 9 or 10 different flex picks with Gimgoon. That was one of the reasons they were so flexible in the draft. And a big question right now is, is he going to still share that same type of synergy with Khan? Of course, Mordekaiser doesn't really require many mechanics, so that's probably going to be an obvious answer.
No, that's pretty fair. The Renekton is one that comes to mind that they both share as well. So across the year, curious to see what Khan and Doinb can kind of flex between each other. You're right, that was the power of Gimgoon in pick and ban. But for now, we sit on the Mordekaiser. We look closely at the composition of FPX, and they play Jarvan for the 3rd game in a row.
Yep. They need an AD jungle to fill out the ranks, the synergy with the AP Mordekaiser, and also the Cataclysm works very well with the bullet time. Once again, they're likely going to be banning out the Gragas. Probably not the Elise this time, though. Lillian really hasn't been shown to be a very prolific Elise player. Sure. He's very good on Gragas, but I don't think they will go down as far as the Elise.
Layan was one of the few people actually playing Trundle as well, just as a side note. Doubt we'll see that here, but something to keep in the back of your mind as IG look for their second ban. It is going to be Ryze coming through once again away from Doinb.
Yep, they didn't want what happened in Game 1 to happen once more. It's very easy to get ganks off with Ryze in the mid lane. Yep. I think that's one of the main reasons that you have to take it away from a duo like Doinb and Tian. Now, FPX are just considering, Elise is very high priority across multiple leagues in Demacia Cup and Kespa. She's actually still one of the most banned coming into the Korean solo queue, but it's not really a champion that he's known for.
We get rid of Aatrox, though. So at this point, TheShy will be playing a new champion this game no matter what.
Okay, I sense a Vladimir incoming.
Oh, Clement. Don't say that just yet. That's exciting.
I know. Like, Vladimir is the nightmare, the bane of FPX life.
Yes.
Both times that they've dropped games to IG, it was because of the Vladimir incoming from TheShy. So just a note, TheShy has 15 kills on FPX just with his 2 Vladimir games, and that's more than Perks and Caps have dealt to FPX combined during the finals.
Yeah, Clement,
so,
sink in your face.
Yeah, like they really know what's coming up. I can feel it in my bones. If he's gonna go, if TheShy's gonna go for a blind pickable team fight mage that can 1v9,
it's gonna be the Vladimir. That's
Take
right.
no other substitute.
And you're happy to pick it into whatever FPX send to the top lane. The Orianna, another choice here that Rookie played last game, could just rewind and go again. It was an interesting build path there as well, but you don't want to see TheShy on Ornn.
No.
Oh, Clement, I'm sorry, but we're doing what Khan did in game 1. We've got the Ornn for TheShy.
Never mind.
Or maybe you have Rookie in the mid lane.
I haven't seen a lot of Ornn mids.
I just thought, with Doinb in this series, why not throw it out there?
So, we've seen a lot of Ornns in the support and in the top lane role with the nerf to Conquerors not dealing true damage, and with the new kind of leveling build where you get your Searing Charge to max levels.
Okay.
So we are going to see the Ornn just into the top lane. This is a composition, while not fitting my expectations, he's going to allow a lot of room for Puff to actually shine. He has a stable front line this time. Braum and Orianna can create a lot of space, and he should be able to dish out damage.
I would love to see this new Diana. Now, you said Doinb has been playing a lot of this.
Yep, it's his most played
Show
champion
me.
so far.
Oh,
Whoa!
thank you. Hello, Diana. Doinb adds another champion to his list. We're not even into 2020 yet, Clement. And Doinb's bringing out all stops.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun to watch. Our first Diana after the rework to be spotted here. Now, just to give a little bit of short introduction on the Diana, basically she's more incentivized to go into the thick of things.
Yep.
And a lot of her damage from her passive and her Lunar Rush was moved to her ultimate, which is now her old E. So if she could get the full 5 targets, she gets 740 base damage with a 1.2 AP ratio.
It's
outside of Aphelios, she is the champion that has the most opportunity to one-shot Pentakill.
And if we talk about FPX and IG, how they've been fighting over the series, Diana fits the bill perfectly.
Yes.
A great way to finish off the series and a great way to showcase how Diana is going to sink into the LPL across the split. If Doinb starts it, you better bet that a lot of teams are going to follow by his example.
She is a far better roamer at this point. The build we've been typically seeing has been the Conquerors with Last Stand, which works really, really well with her Pel Cascade, her shielding, keeping her HP, relatively stable even after she's taken a lot of damage because it's a 2-part shield. And with the addition of Lunar Rush pre-6, she's able to do a lot of catches early on, so a much stronger roaming champion.
All right, Clement, we've talked a little bit about how FPX fit the Diana into the composition. Always about that diving, the roaming with Doinb and Tian. Talk to me a little bit about Invictus Gaming and how they're going to be bringing the Ornn on TheShy into this game.
People think that TheShy is this one-dimensional win lane or just implode type of top laner that can only play carries. But TheShy originally, when he got his starting position, he was actually known for Sion and Cho'Gath. He played the tanks extremely well. He really understood how he could trade with them as well. So IG, I think they're going back to something that has been ancient but unforgotten. This is a great team composition to really showcase Puff.
Again, the Wombos there, the build-on-build ultimate that they added with Kiana, the Orianna from last game. Now they have that top lane giant god ram thing. Invictus Gaming bring excitement in their composition, but FPX fire it right back. I'm ready to close this one out. I hope you at home are as well, because IG and FPX, because this is the last time we'll see them in the split, they're going to end it with a bang, and they're going to light up Summoner's Rift here for Game 3.
Just the sound of Wawa and Miller, our Chinese casting counterparts, laughing around with Southwind.
Having a good time. All right. That's what I expect to have here in this game. Standard fan out across the board, but you can see IG, no mucking around. It's straight to the red buff here for Lei Yan for his debut game of 2020 Spring. While Tian, not spotted out of the red buff this time, will be going for the same course.
Lion has also given them the higher win percentage between himself and Ning during the summer split. So this is something that IG, they probably had in mind coming to it. They could switch around the rosters and make sure that both were performing well. Tian going for the level 2 game.
This is early. Now remember that Diana, I think, started with the Pale Cascade onto Rookie. Bit of extra damage. The trade is there. Tian able to force him out at half health.
Yeah, really well done by Rookie to just walk away from that. He didn't get to proc his phase rush, but this is going to give such an HP advantage over to Rookie. And Tian's being very persistent.
He's coming back in. He's waited for Lian to disappear. Rookie still has flash, though. So for Tian, he burns his first, gets it out of Rookie. Will now walk away after getting traded back, but you take that summoner. You're a Jarvan.
Yeah, and this is so much disrespect being thrown into Lian's way. Now, if you look at the wave here, this is going to be very difficult for Rookie to actually manage. He's actually being frozen upon. There's more minions pushing in to the FPX side, and he's going to need to showcase his 2v2 prowess with Lian to get that wave to bounce back.
And he has to be careful. He doesn't know which side Tian is going to be. You can see there's a ward towards the top side of River, but Rookie has to play respectful. Even though Lian here going to be pushing towards the blue buff, Tian is nowhere nearby.
I do think Lian was actually spotted here.
Okay.
If you look at the warding position from FPX, they probably most likely did walk over there. So we're going to see some contact.
You make an assumption. I do want to talk about the runes here from Doinb, but notice Lian has picked up the blue buff. We've forced a couple of summoners down the bottom side. Puff cleanses there. Maybe just for the extra bit of movement speed, but can't catch up to FPX's bottom lane.
Not really sure what happened at the start of the trade, but you do see the collapse and a very good use of the scanner coming in from Lian. Just making sure he's going into that lane unspotted.
Now, Clement, I do want to come back because I've seen the summoner choice when we have a new champion, essentially, like Diana. Interesting to talk about the choice in runes, rather. If I get a chance, it's a different story. But we've got Conqueror here on the Diana. Makes sense with the ability to constantly proc. The attack speed she now gets off of her passive too.
Yeah, she's much more like a bruiser than she was an assassin in terms of her damage profile. The typical build that we've been seeing has been the ROA. You do get bonus HP scaling onto your Pal Cascade now, so you are actually incentivized to go for a little bit more of a bruiser type build. And
wow, that was perfect
out.
Timing onto Rookie. He teleported in pretty much to almost die.
Yeah, and if you look at that wave position, it's once again going to bounce back. Can Lian change something here?
I mean, he's done a bit of damage, but the thing is, it's a level 3 Kiana. Not enough at this point, and Rookie is scared to walk in. Tian at half health, and the 2v2 trade continues with Doinb. Not really able to add the damage himself. Pale Cascade comes out, and Lian in a bit of trouble here. Doinb has followed up. Lian has to flash over the wall. The smite will heal him for a bit, but remember, there's no real cooldown on the Lunar Rush anymore. It's minute. Lian has to run up, and this is where Khan is waiting for him.
I felt that play was rather unnecessary from Lian's part. He just wanted to get some harass, but with FPX, with the summoner's advantage, with how healthy they were, he was forced out of flash, and that's going to lower the chances of them ever getting Rookie back on his feet.
Lian has to pay respect to this brush as well, because he knows Doinb is still here. The poke damage comes out, and Doinb's not going anywhere. Rookie has to either come up or Lian has to leave immediately.
TheShy just, I'm sorry, Lian just has to go straight back to base. I don't think Orianna can take missing out the wave for this long.
Well, Lian is playing super greedy here. Sees that his blue buff is being pulled away. Doinb has cancelled his back as well. The jungler might die here. That's an easy Pale Cascade into the Lunar Rush. You see a Dragon Flag, you see a flash, you see Doinb jumping onto Lian, gets slowed down but still finds it with the Q. The flash in from Southwind, they find the trade, which means that FPX will need to get out a 1-for-1, but first blood over to Doinb's Diana.
And IG actually come out ahead in that trade. They sacrificed the jungler, but the mid is now into Doinb's favor. Rookie's favor. Doinb going down after that chase. He does find the kill with the last Lunar Rush, but isn't able to escape out himself. And the hero of that play, also Southwind, coming in from the bot lane with that early roam.
Well, things kick off in the exact manner they have every other game, with an explosive roam, with an explosive 3v3, 4v4. And excited this one has continued form. Doinb will now be coming back to lane. We only see Health Crystal. We've got the Sapphire Crystal there for mana too. So it looks like we might have Clement,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
Rod of
typically
Ages?
the Rod of Ages.
Okay.
You go the Rod of Ages, the Zanyas, and into the Nashers. That's kind of the 3-item combination we've seen most. Rookie doesn't have his flash just yet.
Doinb doesn't have ult either. They're going to go for the dive. Tian hasn't hit him yet underneath turret. This is weird. Chris waiting to take the aggro. Doinb eventually does, but has to jump out himself. This dive is botched, and Tian must leave. Chris must leave. Rookie says, see you later. That was easy.
I'm very surprised that you see Chris actually being able to Rookie being able to get out of that. Chris didn't throw anything out, and a really important thing to notice is that Rookie never stopped to throw auto attacks. He's like, I'm just constantly going to rotate around my tower, hope that I can dodge everything. And you have to remember, Doinb and Diana, early levels, you don't have the Moonfall anymore. You're not able to apply crowd control.
That's true. Now move to the ultimate. So Rookie survives. IG then move down to the bottom side of the map. They pick up an Infernal to start things off. Actually feels like the first time in this series, IG have had control around the Dragon to pick up the early objective.
And once again, you're seeing a sizable lead starting to form up for Puff. 73 CS over the 63 of LWX. And this is something that we really haven't been seeing that much. Like, Varus recently did get a little bit of a buff towards his poke build.
Yep, bit of cooldown on the Q. Also with Blight, the refund was taken back by a second, but Varus pretty much the same as when we last left him.
Yep, but overall it still has been Misfortune dominating most lanes, while a lot of HP being lost by Conyer.
Well, TheShy, remember, he's maxing Bellows Breath, so he wants to take this. Here we go. The Horn is outside of the Death Realm, so he can't proc it again, has to flash. TheShy will live, but no flash available means Tian's coming in.
This is just such marvelous synergy coming in from Tian. There's no way
the
TheShy can survive this.
Dodge away. The aggro's taken. At least Tian has to flash. That's a small win, but TheShy goes down.
It really seems like TheShy one-on-one has been standing up to Khan perfectly, but just the synergy between junglers has been quite off between Lian and Ning as well. The last time Lian went up there, he was basically trying to run for his life.
Yeah. Well, you can see the difference between Ning and Lian. You can even see the difference between both junglers combined and Tian. It seems that he's got another good start ahead of him. The Caulfield's Warhammer has been picked up after getting that kill, so a lot more damage now on the Java.
Yep, going for the Warriors build. Just a little bit more skirmish potential with the likes of Doinb.
I don't think you do anything else these days, do you?
We've seen some.
That's the boring build.
Yeah, Cinder Hulk.
Yeah.
And this is a very interesting play. I actually think the strongest macro play on the map right now is if you can go top, just sit there for 6 minutes and snowball double Herald. Because the Herald cooldown is actually very low, and you could get 2 of them.
Still, gold still worth for turret plating. Might have gone down, but still very significant. IG moving everyone to the top side as well. TheShy has stuck around. So where you can see Khan has actually moved to the bottom side of the map. The rest of IG want to commit to this. They want priority over the Herald. They have 5 members towards the top lane right now. While Khan is going to get a free lane, more gold, more turret plating. What's going to be more worth?
There's an interesting macro decision by IG here. They're just saying that, well, if you're going to transfer top lane, we're going to get here before you. But in the meantime, they are sacrificing a lot of resources on TheShy. He's not going to be able to get any of this wave, and that's not a lane that you want to be behind in. After you see Khan get something like the Leandries, he can just punish the likes of Warren very hard.
Already 240 gold here from the turret plating, plus the minion waves that he's been cleaning up. And you can see Tian is actually towards Krugs too, just in case TheShy comes back to lane. So there's a lot of power ready to be used when TheShy shows himself.
Yeah, and he's also going to be facing a 1v2 at this point as well, so he has to be very careful. This is pretty interesting for IG and them showcasing their trust in Puff and Southwind as a duo. They're sacrificing TheShy's growth and development just to make sure their soul carry, Puff, is going to be able to stand up in the late game.
It's funny because there were times when for Jackie Love they would do the same thing. IG's identity has evolved but hasn't changed that much. You can see Puff, he's kept up in CS, but he's lost his edge over LWX. The CS margin now only 5. So we'll wait and see what happens. Puff, when he gets the Blade of the Ruin King, that's when the power comes through. That's when him in this side lane becomes a bit more potent for him to build up that advantage again.
Yeah, and talking about IG and their AD carries, they've always had an interesting relation with them. Jackie Love was a very unique AD carry for IG in the fact that he was also one of their main shot callers.
Yeah.
He directed the team a lot of times, and in the mic check, especially for Worlds 2018, you could hear him trying to call the team back from bad plays and everything like that. So it was really weird to see because at the same time, IG were mainly a topside focused team as well. So they had this scenario where Jackie Love was sort of directing, but a lot of times toward the other lanes benefit. Now they're kind of putting that shot calling maybe resources from Southwind and putting it back onto Puff's lane.
Remember, Puff has experience as well, so it's not like you're just throwing a rookie in the deep end and seeing how he's going to go. Puff's been handling the pressure well, but can he handle this dive in the making? Khan has not been spotted here, but is still going to back away as Puff and Southwind disappear.
And we are running dangerously low on that Herald cooldown. I wonder where they're going to place it. In terms of the macro game, there's something very important with Herald is that it does true damage, so it can ignore bulwark bonuses. What this means, if you overload the top side and you drop a Herald, you're going to be so much stronger than the enemy team that is stacked up in another lane.
Well, it's about to clean house with the mid lane turret as well. Plating goes over, and there goes the first turret of the game. So a bit of gold bonus here for Invictus Gaming, and because that frees up mid, they might be able to contest the Ocean Dragon if they want to walk down.
And that's a play you can only really do with Herald, because if everyone is focused around the turret, it now gets 35 extra armor and magic resistance per stack, and it goes up to 560.
It's insane.
So it's very hard to take a tower these days by doing that type of a play. Usually we've seen, especially TSM really like to do this, they would run their bot lane into the mid lane, get a good trade, and then instantly drop Herald. That and then instantly just chip off the mid turret. That play is a lot harder to do. And I think that opens a lot of plays for Herald. Teams that really understand how to use it, how to overload and trade sides of the map are going to be the biggest benefactors.
Especially when you have two, the reaction to it is a pretty damn important. We got Baron in 6, by the way, but more importantly, we have a Mountainous Rift. So looking across the board, I mean, TheShy's going to love this. You think about Ornn, and you don't even have to press Q anymore. There are so many obstacles in the way. You just press E and you hit a wall. The dream.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting for him up into the top lane. I will point out that I really like Khan's itemization right here. He's going straight for the Liandry's Torment. The percent HP is going to help him cut through TheShy a lot easier.
While you are speaking of itemization, Clement, you look at the lane opponent. You see a Liandry's picked up here against TheShy. You also see the Rod of Ages from Doinb has started stacking. So first item for the Diana. Let's see where it goes next, because we've seen a lot of Nashes in the new build like we did in the old one. I've seen a Proto Belt. What else would you expect?
I really see the Zhonya's being the favorite build, especially for this game. You see the main damage is going to be coming from Puff.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep, and you also look at just the Wombo combo potential coming in from TheShy and Rookie. You probably want some stasis effects that can take you out of that.
Just getting a quick look at turret plating here as well. Look at Khan's gold that he received. That was from the bottom side, where he took 3 turrets alone. 3 platings alone, excuse me. That's why he's so far ahead. He's got a CS lead over TheShy. He has that completed item. But right now, we're not seeing the 1v1 between him and TheShy. We're seeing it between Doinb, who has found himself a tasty ram and is willing to take the fight. He's got the same level as TheShy, but still able to push in, keep him busy, while the rest of the team group mid.
Yeah, and you can see very good use of the Merc Treads right there. Oh, Doinb ult.
Okay, so that is the Moonfall. Remember, not E anymore, but Doinb doesn't have enough damage here. This Ornn is 1v1ing a Diana, and TheShy doesn't even need Layan. Flash is burnt out. Layan is looking for the snipe to get the kill.
Don't think he's going to get it. He's going to have to guess at which brush
the alcove play. First alcove play of 2020. Layan is like, brush, brush. Alcove.
Finds him.
Oh, but Doinb, no! He didn't know you were there! Oh, he's dead anyway. Doinb's going to say goodnight. And Layan would have walked past him.
Yeah, good kill there coming in from Lillian, just finishing off the play. And what I really want to mention from TheShy in that trade was how many times he actually procced the Brittle. There is no internal cooldown for it, so you can stack multiple Brittle procs off that single play. He got the, I believe, the second proc of Call of the Forge God, and then put on another proc coming in from Searing Charge too. And Ornn is just one of those champions that, even though he's a tank, he has such a massive kill range that you have to respect. It's you know, it starts from like 16% or something on the Bellows Breath, and then it goes even higher for the Brittle.
I mean, tank space stats are always a lot better, and it just shows you how this early in the game, Diana doesn't have that much damage to play with, especially against a tank who's building magic resist.
And he's also, Diana as a champion is also much more reliant on ultimate cooldowns than before. That's something that we could see from the trade. If it was the old Diana, I don't even think Lillian goes there. Lillian said, yep, I'm going to respect that and just go home.
Well, finds a kill in the end. Also gets the Rift Herald as well. So Invictus Gaming, 2 Rift Heralds this game. They've got a Mountain coming up soon as well. So for Lei to hold onto that Rift Herald, have that power just before the next objective comes up is a big play. As the Shockwave, speak of the devil, perfect combination there from IG. That's the execution we want to see.
All right, Lillian, you're starting blue side from now on.
Well, Clement, one play is good, but not enough to convince me at this point. So that's a great start. That gets Rookie on the board as well on his Orianna, as he's building the same items. So
what we're seeing in the game right now is that FPX are pretty happy to just play a 1-3-1 game. They have 2 side lane split pushers that really can't be answered on. And IG's going to have to find the opportunities to actually force the issue here. Rookie doesn't have any mana, even though he does have a blue buff. So I don't think they're going to go in super hard here.
I mean, is Doinb truly going to back here? Didn't think so, because Crisp is towards the top side. LWX can just walk there if need be, and Khan has teleport if they want to force. Because Rookie, at the moment, he's too far forward. He has no mana. Even with blue buff, he has to get out.
Yep, and just playing this really calm. You're seeing that FPX are willing to just wave clear, and they're not really forcing the issue. I think a huge problem in Game 1 and Game 2 and why IG were allowed so many backs into the series was because FPX just hard forced when they didn't really need to. So we're seeing a little bit more control being displayed by the championship team.
As you would hope for at this point. I want to bring your eyes at the moment, though, to the Mountain Dragon that has spawned, and Invictus Gaming trying to move around it as Chris goes in. That's a perfect ulti. Great execution once again. Cataclysm on top of TheShy. Shockwave is in the pit, though, and Tian gets destroyed. Clement says goodnight, and now we say hello. There's Call of the Forge God, which is nice from TheShy. But he has to run for his life as Khan takes him into the Death Realm, looking for the 1v1. He flashes on top of him. Khan's going to take him out, but now he's in the middle of 2 players. Puff gets taken down desperately low, but survives and picks up the kill. It's a 3-for-3 trade. In the end, FPX might have to shove.
And once again, I think FPX just displays that they're the superior team because they have the better setups. That was a deep ward right behind IG's only path toward the Mountain Drake. They collapse in 3 positions, Diana coming from the back, and also a great ultimate from outside of vision coming in from LWX over the wall. Perfect setup. Look at the amount of vision that they have in that battlefield.
There's a reason why Crisp and LWX love this combination. It starts off with the explosion of Lei.
Yeah, and just watch Puff. I feel so bad for him because he can't really find his way into the team fight whatsoever. Diana forces him out early, and then Khan has this big bad Death Realm where he doesn't really know what the HP values are. He kind of respects it, tries to go for Rookie, and in the end, he's very ineffective in this team fight. Also burns a lot of summoners, so I feel like FPX, even though they're very superior in the 1-3-1 element, with all of these summoners burned from key players, they can now go in and just force a straight-up 5v5. Look at the cooldowns for Flash on Tian. Look at it on Doinb. If they flash together, Puff is just dead.
Yeah, that's right. And Doinb has his ult back up after the fight as well. Moonfall's cooldown, really not that much. You're looking at a level 12 Dino, so 90 seconds plus cooldown reduction that is starting to get built for the mid laners. So Doinb showcasing a bit here on the Diana, moving into the mid game, going to be a hell of a lot stronger when he gets towards that second item. And especially since we're now on the cusp of yet another mountain, closer towards the Dragon Soul, and Baron now standing right in front of them.
That team fight should teach IG a couple things about their composition. Number one, they're a pitch battle 5v5 team fight. They really need to get their foot set up before FPX challenges them into a fight. And they should be thinking about grouping faster before objectives, trying to arrive before the scene, and really allowing that front line to do the work for them.
Rift Herald channeled to the bottom lane. Doinb is going to trade here, which won't be hard. Should be able to shove out the wave and continue forward. But Gold still at dead even here, just past the 20-minute mark.
This says 100% kill participation. However, he is a Jarvan, so I don't really think that counts.
Is that actually what it says?
It does say so.
So a bit of comedy there from the advertisement.
It's way too easy to just get a bunch of assists on Jarvan. You drop the flag and my job is done.
Colonel looks a lot more robotic this year, Clement, don't you think? Before he had, a bit more...
Hey, AI just keeps on getting better.
He's not even doing thumbs up anymore. He's just doing thumbs to the side. Yeah, maybe it is. Thumbs across. The Colonel can't pick a side. It's always impressive to see.
His graph clearly favors FPX.
Yeah, but his thumbs don't.
A couple things I want to see here is if Puff is going to consider going into the QSS. Now, just to mention here, Cleanse doesn't actually take you out of Death Realm, because Death Realm is considered a, what is it? The word starts with an S.
A section.
You
don't ask me.
Okay. It's the same effect that Impale does, like the Skarner does.
Oh, suppression.
Yeah, it counts as suppression, so you can't get rid of it with Cleanse. You have to go for the QSS.
Yes. And QSS, look, at this point, you're right. We'll keep an eye on Puff because he's got his 2 items now. This is the perfect time to look for that 1,300 gold, pick up the QSS, and keep himself safe.
Yeah, that's the S word I was looking for. Suppression.
Thank God it was that and not something else. I do want to check up on items a little bit closer because TheShy has both his upgraded items at the moment. Hasn't gotten to 14 to give it to someone else just yet. But Rookie, 2 items as well. Spellbinders once again in the Orianna build. I didn't get a closer look on what he built last game as his 3rd item. But this is a start for me, because remember, old Orianna, it was all about the Luden's Echo first into something like a Zhonya's or a supportive items if you want to do Rylai's 4th or 5th as a final destination. He's picked up a null magic resist.
Yeah, this build is much more about poke kiting. I think he's going to go for the Banshees next, rather than it is for raw damage.
Well, that makes sense. Thank you, says Tian once again. And now Puff has a Blade of the King.
It's called Might of the Rune King.
Ah, yes.
There we go.
There's some cool names for it. I got to write it down at some point. All I know is Frozen Fist.
Yeah, there's a couple items that... Oh, wait a minute. Southwind has found the tag.
Oh, no.
Never mind.
Puff can't land the ultimate onto Doinb. Now, that is a big cooldown at this stage of the game. Tian is here, but on a ward. Dead is he. 15 seconds before Dragon with a Baron also standing right there.
Yep, thanks for Yoda casting right there. And Tian, a little bit weird on the positioning. I like what IG were doing right there. They saw that Khan was still not across the river, so they had enough time to just fish for a catch, basically, and they found it.
But will they find the fight here as well? They have all 5 members. TheShy zoning Khan at this point, and this is the member you really want to stop. If he takes Lei Yan into the Death Realm, it could all be over. Khan gets knocked up there, but that's 4-man Moonfall. Doinb says hello to the skies, jumps back on the shockwave to bring him through.
How is nobody
dead? He will
dead?
die eventually because he doesn't have enough damage at the moment. IG survive, even though LWX threatens him. They have to leave, though, away from the Baron buff.
That Circlet of the Iron Solari just saved the game right there. That should have been a straight-up team wipe coming in from FPX. The perfect combo, but great itemization choice by Southwind. He pops the shield, keeps everyone alive, and they actually turned that.
Somehow, some way, after what was a huge ultimate from Doinb.
Oh, so that's not upgraded. It's just Locket at this point, but... Now, point still taken. Very good itemization coming in from Southwind.
I mean, it would have been the difference maker at this point as well. But we're just right back into fighting. That's a teleport burn towards the bottom side. TheShy is coming in fast with ultimate almost available. FPX have to leave. They give over the second mountain to Invictus Gaming.
And that was a smart move by FPX. Diana was still a ways off to joining that team fight. They recognize even though there was a lot of ultimates used from IG, they're not going to be able to contest this one.
Okay, so in a game like this, when you give yourself Mountain Dragon, Clement, I look across and I say, who's the tankiest? A question to be asked a little bit later is, I'm ready to see this again.
Yeah, this was a really cool play. You could see Diana going in, getting 4, but all the shielding happening from Southwind keeps his team alive in a great cleanse flash from Puff. Another stun coming in from Lillian, and they they locked down Doinb. He's not able to get a single auto attack off to finish off Puff. That was amazing to watch. That was one of the best defenses I've seen.
Again, Puff and Southwind, mainly Southwind in that play. Stepping up huge. But also, Clement, you look at Doinb, who had the Zhonya's Hourglass at that point. If he was 10 minutes down the track, if he was an extra item along, that could have been a massive ultimate that cleans him before he has the chance to respond. So
yeah, if you're looking at Diana, she still has massive late game potential. Very well in the scaling department. Her AP ratios are absolutely crazy. And in that team fight, you get you start off with, like, I think 0.6, and then you get 0.15 for every extra member hit. So that was well over a 1 AP ratio ultimate there.
Big. Doinb scaling up the levels, although he didn't find the kills that he wanted. He's still progressing nicely towards his third item, which is going to be the Nash's Tooth. You can see at the top lane as well, Khan actually able to pick up his Rylai's as well. But forget items for now, because it's all about Baron. Invictus Gaming pressuring around, trying to hold on to mid, while FPX are able to push in, get some of the vision contention back around Baron buff.
Just looking at the builds right here, we're going to see Puff actually go for the Hex Trinket. Wait a minute.
Oh, that's all in. That supreme display of talent only hits Doinb. Another key ultimate used a bit early.
Yep, enough to stop the, enough to create a disengage away from FPX's composition, however. So it did its purpose.
True. But what happens now with supreme display of talent down? FPX have the shove in the top lane. They've equalized mid lane.
I don't think it's wise for Lillian to go in on this one. Yeah, because in a 1v2 gank like that, Mordekaiser just takes you to a death room and pounds your jungler to death.
True. It's never a 2v1 with Mordekaiser.
That's one of the reasons he's so good in competitive is it's very difficult to tower dive him. And that creates a lot of macro headaches for the enemy team.
At the very least, he's going to be trading off at this point, especially with how fed Khan is at this game. But look at where Tian is. He might have to disappear. That's going to be Shockwave coming in. He flashes over. He doesn't have flag and drag. That's a big pick right in front of Baron. IG now have the man advantage.
And that was such a surprising pick. Usually you don't see the Orianna with Spellbinders. He just procs that. I don't think he even was at max stacks, but extra movement speed allowed to get him in.
Chris still wants to fight with the man advantage down here. He might have actually gone in without his team's consent. Heal's going to come through with a summoner down, with Crisp almost dead. Can they find anything? Ultimate is stopped by LWX, and IG are running to kill FPX. Khan is dead next. Supreme display of talent doesn't hit because he's in the death realm, but Puff kills him in it. Triple kill for the AD carry again. It's Baron time.
Yeah, and I don't really know what the shot calling was from FPX. It seemed really weird for them to then engage on IG without a member. They just straight up went.
Anyway.
Yeah.
They pay for it. They pay the iron price, it seems. Baron's going to go down. Purple buff for all as LWX can do nothing but pick up a mid turret, get the red buff, watch as now he has to defend against Invictus Gaming, who are 4K gold ahead and primed after this last fight.
So let's just look at how this catch actually happened from Tian. He does have vision here, but Rookie just pops that Spellbinders. He's going in so fast. Oh my god, I can't believe that one actually worked. And a little bit unfortunate that Tian used his flag to get vision. And now Chris makes a weird move here. Look at where Mordekaiser is on the map. He's nowhere close to the action. They think that they could just burst out Lillian, but oh, that was so unfortunate. He actually tags Southwind instead. It always goes to the latest target that you've hit.
That's right.
Oh, so that was just a bit of bad luck on their part, but a very costly part of it.
Well, now they're fighting again. They've run up the mid lane. Doinb's caught out. The Diana has to flash away, and he's dead. Cataclysm will come through, but at this point, FPX can do nothing but run. They will trade lane on the back end, but because the numbers are equal, IG continue to push up mid.
Yeah, there's 4 major ultimates down. IG are looking to close in on the game.
And that's the charge. That's the shockwave. Khan will bring him into the death realm, but at this point, it's just to buy time. TheShy still able to kill him in it. The second time that's happened for Khan. IG know these are big death timers. They know they might be able to end the game.
46 seconds for Khan. This is going to be a 4v4. Jungler gone from IG, but they still have a lot of firepower with Puff and Rookie on their roster.
Well, this is their last stand, it seems. Baron Buff doing the work. Here comes Spellbinds again. Rookie gets flashed on. Missed hero play. That's all you need. Game goes on.
And just a reminder, you can crit on that.
Oh,
Q.
Clement, what I care right
Never
now
mind.
is what Doinb's going to do. Moonfall there, 3 members. In comes Christopher off as well. Puff flushes back though. Cleanses, is still alive. Look at Puff, the new 80 carry. Does enough damage. That's 2, that's 3. Count it with me, ladies and gentlemen. That's Invictus Gaming.
Only Khan now to save the base from being pushed down. This is going to be a 3v1 situation. Khan doesn't have his ultimate. We're going into round 3, ladies and gentlemen.
But they've still got the Baron buff. The minions are there to help force. Here comes Call of the Ford God. The Ram doesn't land. But Khan draws in the Nether Grasp. He has the ultimate soon, but it might not be enough. Lay-in sends in the ulti, destroys him. And FPX last member is down. Invictus Gaming take it all the way to the Nexus. They take down the 2019 World Champions in the first series of the Spring 2020 split.
Revenge from IG completed. They're reminding everyone that even with their summer split, even with their semifinals defeat, there is more than one champion sitting on the throne in LPL.
It's IG like to come back and really smack them where it hurts. Good League of Legends doesn't come across every day, but I can handedly say that these two teams, they look great to kick us off.
It was Jackie Love that propelled this roster into a championship form. Even with him nowhere to be found, they're still able to give magnificent performances from Puff. And, you know, I have to, you know, excuse them because they haven't actually been in the center stage very many times on Vici Gaming.
It's not often that Vici bows at all, Clement, so that's exactly right. You can see Southwind and Puff look very happy. I mean, on your screen, it's not often that you see new faces on IG, but these new faces could become a core identity, could become a core reason why IG have so much success, much like Jackie Love and Baolan did.
Smiles all across the board, and you have to feel happy for these guys that tried so hard from the LDL to finally break out of Vici prison, move themselves into IG, and be highly valued assets here.
Taking a closer look. Puff there, Southwind on the right. And honestly, in Vici, they did so damn well. You're right, it is a breakout, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. I would love to go back into that game and kind of see how that started with the catches onto Doinb, but they just happened so fast. And for this one, I really think that this is a textbook game on how to defend a 1-3-1.
Yeah.
You could see, you know, IG a lot of times they did give up their first towers, but they did group up, try to find catches. They never allowed single pushes past their second tier towers, and they just held on until the time came to them.
Just a reminder to you that Ornn is great at damage in the early game. TheShy and Rookie essentially did the same damage in what was a 32-minute game.
Yeah, but I will say TheShy was basically wailing on Khan, who had Conkers as well, and they just traded a lot of damage.
Look,
that doesn't really count.
I don't care. That was a magnificent way to close out that game. I got everything I wanted out of FPX IG, the highs, the lows, and kind of a taste of what IG look like with this new bottom lane that we keep talking about, that there is already synergy built up there. They're assimilating really nicely into the IG roster, and that Lei can step up to the table when need be, when Ning maybe can't.
Yeah, I think looking at this overall, you're saying to yourself two things. The supporting cast from IG is likely been upgraded.
Yeah.
Ning was very unstable in summer, to say the very least. And now with Lei able to fill up that Qiyana hole, she's incredibly important in the meta at this point. She's almost a must-ban on the red side. So for them to be able to have someone pilot it, that is huge in terms of the meta. Rookie can play it as well. That gives him flex potential. And also Southwind. I really want to say, like, I felt like Southwind's blocks onto the Misfortune ultimate, his Iron Locket timing was so clutch in that one as well. And he might be an upgrade over Ballin.
He's been in the LSPL since 2015. He's got the experience. They've showcased it here. Invictus Gaming 2-1 over FPX. That was only the first series of the LPL. Right after this, we're going to be returning with LGD and LNG.